Chapter 213. Chi. The spiritual sword Chi pierced through the Black Widow. Her eyes turned white, her mouth foamed, and her body twitched. The moment Lin Chen's delaying rune delayed the Black Widow. As a Heaven Dipper Realm Stage 5 expert, she had a subconscious reaction to danger and circulated her battle chi to resist the delaying rune. But the problem was that Lin Chen's spiritual attack was like a sharp sword that cut off this subconscious counterattack. This caused the Black Widow to be in a completely defenseless state. With her consciousness cut off and unable to resist, she didn't even have the most basic protection of battle chi. Lin Chen didn't have any pity for the fairer sex. He smashed her skull with a palm, and she died on the spot. This was the Black Widow who had killed countless people. She was an expert of the evil sect with a lifespan of 1,000 years. Who knew how many lives she had killed? Hidden under her seemingly beautiful skin was a brutal demon who had slaughtered hundreds of thousands of people. After the Black Widow died, a large number of attribute light balls and a purple gold treasure chest appeared near her corpse. Lin Chen's eyes were sharp and his hands were nimble. He kept away all the attribute light balls. Host has received 53 million Battle Chi Essences, 49 million Battle Chi Essences, 62 from million Battle Chi Essences. Host has received 800,000 Dark Energy, 2 million Dark Energy. Host has received 500,000 Cultivation Technique Essences, 800,000 Cultivation Technique Essences. Host has received 200,000 Rune Energy, 150,000 Rune Energy. Host has opened the purple gold treasure chest. Received top-grade dark gold, Oregon. Lin Chen didn't have time to see what the dark gold or looked like. The 9-colored battle spirit in his body spun rapidly, and streams of battle chi converged into the battle spirit. Lin Chen's battle chi cultivation instantly soared. He advanced to the peak of Heaven Dipper Realm Stage 1 like a hot knife through butter. He hurriedly controlled his fire battle chi to lay down layers of fire nets and concealed his cultivation once again. This time, the battle chi breakthrough almost exposed Lin Chen's position. Luckily, he reacted quickly. Otherwise, 2 Heaven Dipper Realm Level 5 martial artists would be alerted. The attribute light ball, dropped by a Heavenly Dipper Realm LV5, could give me more than 400 million Battle Chi Essence and make a leap to the peak of Heavenly Dipper Realm LV1. If I could assassinate another Heavenly Dipper Realm LV5, I would enter Heavenly Dipper Realm LV2. As for the remaining one, with the help of the characteristic rune, I would have a 50% chance of winning. Lin Chen's eyes flashed with a glimmer of hope for survival. After quickly hiding the Black Widow's corpse, he tore apart his clothes, making it look like his clothes were in a mess. On the 4th floor, in a secret room at the end of the corridor, beautiful sounds of sexual intercourse could be heard from time to time. Suddenly, the door of the secret room was opened. The beautiful woman in the secret room narrowed her eyes. Who? The purple-robed, beautiful woman who had just raised her guard was slightly startled. A handsome young man with messy clothes ran in with a crying tone. What with the madam just now was too much. She said something about giving me fragrant big steamed buns and scallops to eat on the bed. In the end, the steamed buns were good, but the scallops were not fragrant at all. The young man was crying like a pear blossom in the rain. Under the messy, torn shirt, the streamlined lines of the young man's muscles could be seen. The handsome and pure white face was filled with grievances like a trembling little puppy. The purple-robed, beautiful woman's heart trembled. Wasn't this the handsome young man that her younger sister had chosen? Previously, she still had a trace of regret for giving such a good quality to her younger sister. She didn't expect the other party to take the initiative to deliver himself to her. She was afraid that after her younger sister finished enjoying herself, she would ask him to come over and serve her. Thinking of this, the purple-robed, beautiful woman's cheeks flushed with excitement as she said in a delicate voice, my good boy has suffered. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Come over to sister. Sister will comfort you. The beautiful woman opened her arms, and her soft and white skin opened the door to the young man. She didn't have much defense against Lin Chen. Experts who had cultivated to a certain level could see through Lin Chen's true age at a glance. He was a young man who wasn't even 19 years old. How could such a young man be a threat to her? Almost like a conditioned reflex, the purple-robed, beautiful woman lowered her guard against Lin Chen, wanting to enjoy the pleasure of being intimate with him. Lin Chen glanced around from the corner of his eyes and found that there were already 4 young men lying on the ground. It was unknown whether they were dead or alive. 3 of them were curled up in a corner, trembling, and 2 of them were foaming at the mouth on the bed. Speaking of which, my younger sister is quite fast. Didn't she always like to torture young men and slowly play them to death? How could you be so fast this time? A small doubt appeared in the purple-robed, beautiful woman's mind. Just as she was about to hug the young man who was jogging towards her, she casually released a wisp of battle chi to investigate her younger sister's secret room. However, this wisp of battle chi was like a stone thrown into an abyss. There was no reaction in her younger sister's secret room. There was also no trace of her aura. It was as if she had evaporated into thin air. The purple-robed, beautiful woman instantly felt her hair stand on end. Almost instinctively, she felt a sense of danger. Her long and narrow eyes instantly became especially sharp. The space around her delicate body distorted violently, and the battle chi that was as boundless as the sea suddenly turned into purple waves that surged out. She immediately turned her attention to the young man who was less than 3 meters away from her. Damn it, she found out. I can't care so much anymore. Attack. Slowing rune. Lin Chen's heart suddenly trembled. His entire body released a pure power that could collapse mountains and rivers, revealing his foundation. Taishi's Spirit Sword, the slowing rune that contained 5 million points of rune energy and 4 streaks of spiritual sword chi condensed in the air and suddenly attacked. Rip! Just like the Black Widow, the purple-robed, beautiful woman was caught off guard by Lin Chen's sudden attack. She was suppressed by the slowing rune on the spot. The spiritual sword chi twisted into her spiritual sea and cut off her consciousness. Boom! A fist that was burning with bright red flames angrily punched towards the purple-robed, beautiful woman's heart. Post-activated level 2 corrosion rune and recharge rune. 800,000 points of rune energy consumed. Lin Chen's 4 moves simultaneously. Spiritual power, characteristic runes, pure strength, and energy bloodline completed the fiercest attack almost in a breath's time. Bang! The earth-shattering rumble shook the entire castle, and all the evil martial artists were alarmed. The entire 4th floor of the castle was punched through, and a tornado of fist wind appeared. Red flames rolled and ignited a monstrous fire. The fist wind killed many Heaven Star Border Stage 1 and Stage 2 evil martial artists along the way. Once the fire energy burned, not even corpses were left. There's an enemy attack, come out. The purple-robed, beautiful woman's sudden cold shout made Lin Chen's heart sink instantly. She didn't die. Even if he used the most ferocious attack in the shortest time possible, he still couldn't take down a Heaven Star Border Stage 5. Under the premise that a Heaven Star Border Stage 5 was vigilant, the slowing rune that contained 5 million points of rune energy couldn't even delay the opponent for half a breath's time. Lin Chen's situation at this moment became a situation where he was surrounded by enemies and danger lurked everywhere. Chapter 214. The entire castle fell in an instant, and the 4th floor almost collapsed. Many heretical experts appeared outside the castle, as if they had a tacit understanding and surrounded the area. This is strange. How did someone manage to sneak onto the Black Fog Island? The half-naked heretical expert, Black Soul, said with a frown. Even with his mid-stage Heaven Star Border Stage 5 strength, he didn't notice at all. Lin Chen stared at the sky with his purple-golden eyes. Killing intent swirled around him as Lin Chen locked onto the purple-robed lady in the air. He stomped his feet, and the purple phoenix wings unfurled as he streaked across the sky. In order to block Lin Chen's sneak attack, The purple-robed lady's right arm was blown to smithereens by Lin Chen. She, who was standing in the air, saw that Lin Chen's speed was so fast. She made a prompt decision and pointed her jade-like finger at the void. Hiss! The spiritual energy of heaven and earth changed as two gigantic purple pythons shot across the sky and bit at Lin Chen from the left and right. Lin Chen activated his wind-attributed bloodline and stepped on a green whirlwind. He flapped his purple phoenix wings and dodged the two pythons with lightning speed. Die! Lin Chen circulated his 9-color battle spirit and a 9-attributed battle chi, transformed into a special bloodline in a split second. Charging rune, Dark Devour. His palm, which was spinning the dark-attributed battle chi wheel, slammed towards the purple-robed lady's lower abdomen. Her expression changed slightly as she raised her hand and retreated. At the same time, she collided with Lin Chen's palm. Boom! The shockwaves from the collision of the two's battle chi distorted the space around them. Both of them took 20 steps back and were evenly matched. The purple-robed lady stared at her palm in astonishment. Her attack just now wasn't that weak. There's a strange energy corroding my battle chi. This brat has such a strange technique. The battle chi permeated through every pore of her body. With her powerful cultivation, the purple-robed lady eliminated the effect of Lin Chen's corrosive rune in the blink of an eye. Where did this brat come from? How dare you hurt our sect leader? Die! Two Heavenly Dipper realm women with frosty faces wielded 3-foot green swords. Their sword chi pierced through the void and launched a sneak attack from behind Lin Chen. Roar! The dragon's might was boundless, and the dragon's roar shook the heavens and the earth. The vast and majestic ancient azure dragon appeared out of nowhere and blocked Lin Chen's back. The sword chi only left a faint mark on the scales of the ancient azure dragon. Not even a drop of blood could be seen. Bang bang! With a sweep of its tail, the ancient azure dragon instantly turned the 2-second level Heaven Dipper realm girls into a bloody pulp. Ancient azure dragon now has 30 dragon power, enough to match Heavenly Dipper realm 4th layer middle stage. Even an ordinary Heaven Dipper realm 3rd layer cultivator could not withstand a few of its attacks. A Heaven Dipper realm 2nd layer cultivator was as weak as a baby in front of it. Lin Chen shook his numb palms. He was shocked. After the actual fight, Lin Chen discovered how strong the Heavenly Dipper realm 5th layer is. He originally thought that he could rely on the characteristic runes to gain an advantage, but now he realized that he was too naive. The previous confrontation and sneak attack were the same. Every time the purple-clothed woman launched an attack, she would use the power of space to control the space while mobilizing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. This caused the space to be more stable, increasing the level of her attack by several times. More than half of Lin Chen's attack power was blocked by the space solidified by her battle chi. It was as if Lin Chen's power was hitting a more stable space, causing a completely different power. Even if I lost an arm, it did not reduce my combat power by much. In the situation where I am surrounded, I cannot take her life under the siege of so many experts. Thoughts flashed through his mind quickly. Lin Chen's fingertip pointed at the void and activated the charging rune. A thunder explosion turned into a lightning dragon and swept across, penetrating the arm of a Heaven Dipper realm 4th layer cultivator who wanted to sneak attack him. He was heavily injured and retreated on the spot. Is this young man really only 18 years old? How can he be so strong? How did he sneak into this black fog island? The purple-clothed woman squinted her eyes. Fear and danger flashed across her eyes. If this kind of enemy was left behind, he would be a huge threat in the future. Sooner or later, he would be their life-reaping scythe. The battle has failed. I can only escape. Black Widow is already dead. I can only try to find the array core and break the ancient array left behind by Black Fog Island from the inside. Lin Chen had just decided on the second plan when an ancient azure dragon's dragon blood suddenly sprayed out. The Heaven Dipper realm 5th layer Black Soul wielded the heaven-splitting axe and split open the ancient azure dragon's dragon scale defense. Dragon blood suddenly spurted out. The ancient azure dragon did not have much power to fight back in front of a Heaven Dipper realm middle stage cultivator. Azure dragon, soul, splitting claw. Lin Chen's mind turned. The ancient azure dragon's dragon aura condensed into both claws and waved it down furiously. Thousands of dragon breath light blades destroyed mountains and rivers, strangling that black soul. The moment the dragon breath light blades destroyed the strongest Heaven Dipper realm 5th layer cultivator present, Lin Chen waited for the opportunity to attack. Boom! There was a faint wind and thunder between heaven and earth. The purple phoenix wings coupled with the wind energy bloodline made his speed extremely fast. With the black abyss spear in hand, Lin Chen swept a distance of thousands of feet. His arm was like an afterimage as he unleashed pure strength. CSISI. The sound of the explosion was endless. Lin Chen stabbed over 100 times. The colorful battle chi spear light pierced through the void and bloomed like a peacock spreading its tail. The battle chi spear light was like a dragon in the wilderness. It stabbed the Heaven Dipper realm 4th layer cultivators surrounding Lin Chen and forced them to retreat. The attribute light balls that they dropped were all swept away by the shrunken ancient azure dragon. Without caring too much, after keeping the ancient azure dragon into his body, Lin Chen rushed towards the south of Black Fog Island. Omnidirectional nightmare. The woman's voice was like the devil's voice from hell. In the direction that Lin Chen was flying towards, a barrier spread out in all directions and trapped Lin Chen in it. Without giving Lin Chen a chance to break the barrier, a figure covered in blood was torn out from the black tide and chopped down with a huge black axe. Demonic axe, earth splitter. A peerless axe light that could split mountains and rivers was furiously chopped down from the huge axe. The violent and fiendish axe light emitted fluctuations that could reverse the sun, moon, and stars as it chopped down from above Lin Chen's head. Bang, bang, bang. Before the axe light arrived, the aftertaste of its sharpness had already split several thousands of feet tall mountains into two halves. The earth veins were broken and the mountains collapsed. This axe seemed to have the violent and imposing manner to split the earth. Lin Chen, who had nowhere to retreat, was so calm that it was a little scary. He advanced in order to retreat. The purple phoenix wings furiously rushed up and used all the characteristic runes. The rune energy sharply decreased by 2,300,000 points. Wrath of Light. Lin Chen and the Dark Abyss Spear seemed to have merged into one and formed an aurora that rushed forward to meet that shocking axe head-on. Boom! Bang! A large mountain was constantly shattered. The aftermath of the collision uprooted the earth and set off violent winds and huge waves, destroying all the buildings. A young figure with a broken, faint golden radiance fell to the ground like a meteor. The purple-clothed woman and onyx soul surrounded the place where Lin Chen fell. In addition, there were several Heaven Dipper Realm late-stage experts guarding the surroundings. If we don't kill this kid, he will definitely be a big problem in the future. Onyx soul with a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth, and the purple-clothed woman looked at each other. Everyone had a tacit understanding that they had to kill Lin Chen. You can't run away. Forcing me to fight, right? Let's see if you guys are more ruthless, or if I, Lin Chen, am more ruthless. Lin Chen, who was lying in a pool of blood, took out a jade bottle from his storage ring and crushed it. Rays of light rippled. In the broken jade bottle, it seemed to hide a shocking true dragon. It shone with a golden radiance and burst out bursts of dragon roars. Chapter 2:15. 2 Heaven Dipper Stage 5 experts and several late-stage Heaven Dipper Stage 4 experts. With such a lineup, Lin Chen's best outcome would be to drag a Heaven Dipper Stage 5 expert down with him. The golden light was dazzling. Numerous golden dragon heads swam around Lin Chen, emitting a majestic dragon chi. Lin Chen's trembling hand held a Longan-sized pill that shone with a golden light. Rank 5, Rank 4 Peak Grade Pill, True Dragon Soul Refining Pill. This was the most precious treasure Lin Shun had obtained in the Evil King's secret realm. It was a Rank 5 Peak Grade Pill. With his current refining skills, it was impossible to refine it. However, although this item was precious, it was the trump card he didn't want to use the most, because the gambling element was too great. If he didn't succeed, not to mention killing the enemy, he would explode on the spot. This pill contained genuine true dragon blood essence. Its energy was vast, comparable to the stars in the sky and the raging seas and mountains. Normally speaking, this pill should be given to high-level fierce beasts or extremely strong body refinement martial artists. Even with Lin Chen's current realm and body refinement strength, the risk of consuming this pill was extremely high. The possibility of his body exploding on the spot was probably more than 80%. Since I'm going to die anyway, I might as well drag a few of you down with me. His eyes flashed with an ominous glint. Lin Chen swallowed the pill. The golden dragon chi drifting around the pill instantly disappeared and entered Lin Chen's body. Bang bang. Poochie. The moment he chewed the true dragon soul refining pill, Lin Chen's pores emitted a terrifying dragon chi, shattering the surrounding space. The ground within dozens of miles was lifted up by the explosion of energy in his body. What's going on? This brat's energy is getting stronger and stronger. He consumed a pill that exceeded his limits. Is he planning to fight to the death with us? He might not be able to take it in the next breath and explode. The 5 Heaven Dipper Realm stage, 4 experts sneered and mocked. Only Onyx Soul and the purple-robed woman immediately attacked. The giant axe cleaved through the air, chopping out 3 revolving axe lights. The purple-clothed beautiful woman sent out another palm, and an astonishing baleful aura emerged from the ground, forming 2 Rakshasa gates, attacking Lin Shun from both sides. Regardless of whether this child will explode and die, with his foundation, is enough to make the 2 of them Heaven Dipper Realm 5th layer feel shocked. They had to be killed as quickly as possible. Roar! Lin Shen's eyes flickered with golden light as he emitted a berserk dragon chi. His entire body shone with golden light as he let out an angry dragon's roar. The surrounding space shattered like a mirror from his roar. The 2 Rakshasa gates were shattered into nothingness on the spot. A single roar could shatter mountains and rivers. He was simply a living dragon. Lin Shen raised his hand and violently punched 4 times in a row. Each punch squeezed the space until it was distorted and broken into a fried dough twist. The terrifying fist wind crushed Onyx Soul's axe aura. The 4th punch even repelled the 2 Heavenly Dipper Realm 5th layer cultivators by 1,000 meters on the spot before stopping. What frightening pure strength! It's comparable to the strength of an ancient giant beast. Luckily, we managed to defend in time. If we were to receive a punch at close range, all the bones in our bodies would be shattered. The 2 of them were shocked to the core and immediately spread out. Poochie. Fresh blood spurted out. Lin Chen's arms were split open with ghastly wounds, with boiling hot blood constantly flowing out. His body was completely unable to withstand such a berserk energy. This was only the first wave. There was still an endless amount of energy contained in the dragon's essence, blood pouring into his organs, limbs, and bones. Lin Shen let out a painful scream as his fists danced wildly, not differentiating between friend and foe. With every punch, Lin Shen's arms would bleed. However, if he didn't release this energy, his body would explode and he would die in no time. The heretical experts didn't dare to get close. At this moment, Lin Shen was like an enraged beast, constantly unleashing ferocious attacks. His punches and kicks could shatter mountains and rivers. If they got close to him, they would be in danger if he counterattacked before his death. While Lin Shen was releasing the energy of the true dragon soul refining pill, most of it was absorbed by the ancient azure dragon in his dantian. Other than that, a small part of it flowed into Lin Shen's body. His dragon force was rising at an unprecedented speed. 17 dragon force, 19 dragon force, 20 dragon force. It was as if with every punch, Lin Chen's strength was rising. Although his injuries were constantly expanding, his water-type bloodline was also constantly circulating the true water origin scripture to recover. What was even more terrifying was the Azure Dragon's origin in Lin Chen's Dantian. Streams of dragon chi that could sweep away the sun, moon, and stars were roaring. His ancient Azure Dragon was breaking through at a frightening speed. Its dragon force had already reached 70 dragon force. Something's not right. Although this kid's injuries are serious, he has an extremely profound recovery technique. On the other hand, his aura is getting stronger and stronger. His flesh shell is transforming at an astonishing speed. Onyx Soul was also a body refinement expert, so he saw through Lin Chen's abnormality with a single glance. He suddenly shouted, "Everyone attack together!" Boom, boom, boom. The earth-shattering battle chi fluctuations caused the entire Black Fog Island to shake violently. The surging killing intent swept up the endless battle chi attacks and blasted towards the youth who was attacking crazily on the ground. Bang! Raging waves rose from the sea outside the Black Fog Island. The waves were at least 1,000 meters high, and the entire island was shaking. With so many Heaven's Star Border Stage 4 and Stage 5 experts attacking together, the momentum was enough to flatten a small mountain range. Smoke billowed as everyone hurriedly released their battle chi to check on Lin Chen's situation. They didn't dare to be careless. They suddenly discovered that two life force fluctuations that were even stronger than before were at the center of the bombardment. They were like a rising sun and moon, unstoppable. Rip! Green and purple flames swept across the void, and a gray talisman entered the body of a Heaven Star Border Stage for expert. With the suppression of the runes, he didn't have time to react. He was caught off guard by the sneak attack and exploded on the spot. The youth was dressed in a silver robe bathed in blood. His brows were piercingly cold, and his smile was outlined with dense, killing intent. He stood in the void, and his body was surrounded by golden dragon chi. He was like an overlord that appeared to look down on the world. This kid's pure strength has reached 35 dragon force. Onyx Soul narrowed his eyes. Before he could be shocked by how Lin Chen did it, a sense of danger enveloped him. "Onyx Soul, be careful," the purple-robed beauty exclaimed. An incomparably ferocious force shattered mountains and rivers, sweeping across the land, and suddenly struck Onyx Soul's side. Bang, bang, bang. Onyx Soul was sent flying dozens of miles away, smashing a few mountains along the way. Even the space where he was sent flying was distorted. The dragon's might roared, and an ancient azure dragon that was thousands of feet long bathed in golden light, bathed in infinite radiance. It was like an ancient divine dragon that ruled the world. An ancient azure dragon that is at the peak of mid-stage Stage 5? The purple-robed beauty's eyes trembled slightly. The azure dragon suddenly stretched out its dragon claw. It was as fast as lightning, and she couldn't dodge it in time. She was forced to use her battle chi to defend herself. Boom! The purple-robed beauty let out a shrill scream. She was smashed into the ground by the ancient azure dragon's claw. The entire earth vein was lifted, and the surface of the ground was swollen with explosions. Fear appeared on all the evil sect experts' faces. An ancient azure dragon that was comparable to a Heaven Star Border Stage 5. Chapter 216. The ancient azure dragon was shining with golden light. Every dragon scale was glowing with a brand new light. It was majestic. Its body was more than twice as large as before. It raised its dragon claws and waved them around, smashing the ground repeatedly. The entire island was shaking violently and felt like it was going to sink to the bottom of the sea in the next second. Under the ancient azure dragon's relentless attacks, the Black Widow's sister died on the spot. She didn't even have the chance to escape from the ground. When her battle chi was exhausted, Her defense could no longer withstand the ancient azure dragon's pure strength attacks. A single true dragon soul refining pill allowed my ancient azure dragon to reach 100 dragon power points in the blink of an eye. It's comparable to a late-stage Heaven Star Border Realm Stage 5. Even I benefited a lot from it. The pure strength of my flesh shell has reached 35 dragon power points. This feeling of ascension is amazing. Lin Shen closed his eyes as a sense of exhilaration welled up in his heart. At the same time, a trace of fear flashed across his heart. If not for the miraculous healing technique of the primordial water scripture, he would have died from the explosion of his body. Now, Lin Shen could easily destroy an early-stage Heaven Star Border Realm Stage 4 with pure strength. Now, the true Dragon Soul refining pill's remaining energy in Lin Shen's body was less than 40%. This energy could be easily controlled by him. Lin Shen wasn't in a hurry to refine it. His priority now was to kill every heretical expert present. Any heretical martial artist above the Heaven Star Border Realm would be a threat to millions or even tens of millions of civilians if he escaped. Even if he killed one more, it would be worth it. Host has received 71 million Battle Chi Essences, 42 million Battle Chi Essences, 45 million Battle Chi Essences. Host has received 120,000 Rune Energy, 250,000 Rune Energy. Host has advanced to early stage Heaven Star Border Realm Stage 2. After the ancient Azure Dragon came into contact with the attribute light balls, it was automatically absorbed and returned to Lin Shen's body. In the blink of an eye, Lin Shen's cultivation level broke through on the spot. Lin Shen's 9-color battle spirit was now several times stronger than before. Lin Shen stepped on the azure light whirlwind as he held the Black Abyss spear in his hand. His purple phoenix wings flitted across the blue dome of heaven. With a breakthrough in his realm, his speed had increased by a few notches. As the purple phoenix wings flapped, his entire body seemed to be shuttling through space at an extremely fast speed. Rip! Rune of Slowing. Black Abyss spear like the black lightning from hell, with a slow rune, one after another through 3 heavenly Dipper Realm 4th layer. Lin Shen went straight for Onyx Soul, leaving the ancient Azure Dragon to clean up the battlefield. With its current strength, to swallow these heavenly Dipper Realm 4th layer and below guys, it is completely no problem. Only a quarter of an hour can all be done. On the west side of the Black Fog Island, a streak of light tore through the air at extreme speed, intending to escape from the island. Whoosh! A grayish-white talisman suddenly descended from the void, and Onyx Soul's speed was immediately halted, stopping for less than half a breath's time. This half a breath's time was enough to slow him down by a large margin. The dazzling light energy transformed into an energy ball that suddenly descended, exploding and illuminating the entire sky with an aurora. What's the hurry? We haven't had enough fun fighting just now. Lin Shen floated in the air, his lips curled into a cold smile. Now that his pure strength had increased in terms of duels, Lin Shen was definitely not afraid of Onyx Soul. Young man, I know you want to stall for time until that Azure Dragon arrives, but with your strength, it's still not enough to delay me. Onyx Soul sneered and suddenly swung the giant axe in his hand. Lin Shen laughed wildly at the sky, filled with lofty sentiments. The Black Abyss was like a wild dragon emerging from the sea, piercing forward. Sky Song Academy, Main Court, 12th Sky Island. In a hot spring, a few green merit points disciples who had just returned from a mission were comfortably soaking in the hot spring, dispelling their fatigue. Speaking of which, have you guys heard about the incident of a new student sending himself to his death? I remember that it's that unlucky new student who accepted the mission on Black Fog Island. TSK. I reckon he's already dead without a complete corpse. I've seen the methods of those evil martial artists. They're inhumane. I reckon that new student is already deader than dead. Hey, don't jump to conclusions so quickly. He might still be alive. That new student's strength is stronger than both of you. He even fought 2 green merit points disciples alone. So what? He's still dead. In this world, dead people are trash. We've survived, so we're part of the small group of people who have reached the peak. If he's still alive, I'll King drink all the hot spring water here. The 2 green merit points seniors said disdainfully. One of them casually took out a mission scroll and injected a strand of battle chi into it, intending to find a new mission. Boom! Suddenly, the mission scroll made of special materials gave off a dazzling azure light that was over 100 feet tall. This was an announcement that would only appear when a high-level mission was completed. Everyone looked at it and saw a list of words appear in the azure light. Blue Merit mission completed. Eliminate all evil martial artists on Black Fog Island and destroy all formations on the island. Mission Executor, Lin Shun, Green Merit Point. The moment they saw the mission's contents, all the Green Merit Point students were dumbstruck. At the same time, in the mission hall, battle arena, treasure pavilion, skill library, and spirit pill island. At this moment, all the students who had opened their mission scrolls to look for missions saw the azure light at the same time. A storm began to sweep through Heavenly Song Academy. Everyone in the academy, whether they were students, elders, teachers, or even the mysterious higher-ups of the academy, were shocked or surprised. In the mission hall's resting room. Elder Yuan, it's bad. It's bad. A few elders hurriedly rushed into the resting room, but Elder Yuan was listless, sighing from time to time and shaking his head from time to time. He didn't even eat his favorite roasted lamb leg or chicken leg, only silently drinking a mouthful of strong liquor. What's bad? I've been in a bad mood recently. All of you, leave and don't bother me. Even if the sky falls, don't worry about me. With a deep sigh, Elder Yuan lay down on the bench and waved his hand without turning his head. He felt deeply guilty about the matter with Lin Shun. If Lin Shun had been naturally eliminated by the cruel environment of Heavenly Song Academy, then he wouldn't have done anything wrong. However, it was because of him that Lin Shun had accepted the Blue Merit mission and entered the depths of Black Fog Island full of evil martial artists. Elder Yuan had dealt with the methods of those inhuman, evil martial artists many times when he was young. If Lin Shun was exposed, he was afraid that even his death would be extremely cruel and unbearable. This child probably hated him to the bone before he died. He had personally sent a genius with the potential to become a Blue Merit Point to ruin. This feeling was truly unpleasant. That's not it. Elder Yuan, listen to us. That brat Lin Shun isn't dead. The elders who had barged in were wild with joy. Elder Yuan shook his head and sighed. I already said that I'm in a bad mood. Even if the sky falls, I won't. Wait a moment. Who did you just say isn't dead? Chapter 217. The 2 elders immediately took out their mission scrolls. When they opened them, a blue light spun, and it clearly stated that the mission of eliminating the evil martial artists on Black Fog Island was completed. Elder Yuan jumped up on the spot, his face glowing as he snatched the mission scroll in ecstasy. Damn it, I knew this kid wouldn't die so easily. Ha ha. A green merit level mission completed by a blue merit level mission. Amazing, amazing. This time, I will personally report to the Elder Council. This kid's performance is definitely better than all the older green merit students. The other 2 elders instantly wiped off their sweat. You believe he's not dead yet? He's been so depressed these days that he's like a cripple. Headquarters on a sky island. On the sky island, inside a brightly lit ceremonial room. A group of figures were sitting in the room. There were men and women of all ages. Some had white hair, some were handsome, and some were cute and petite. The people sitting in the room were all the higher-ups of the Heavenly Song headquarters. They were all people who once commanded the winds and clouds of the spiritual state. What do you think about the next purple merit level test? Suddenly, the leading white-haired elder asked with a hoarse voice. Grand Elder, I disagree with your opinion. We can't lower the standard just because there hasn't been a purple merit level in the past 5,000 years. I agree with Elder Xia. The purple merit level represents the strongest students in the Heavenly Song Academy and the peak of the younger generation in the spiritual state. It's better not to have this position than to have it substandard. Haha, everyone, there's no need to be so pessimistic. This year, this old man has seen 2 good seedlings in the academy that are hard to come by in 1,000 years. Who knows, a purple merit rank might be born in the near future. Speaking of which, I also remembered there was one. This year, our academy is full of geniuses. TSK, you said the same thing 1,000 years ago. A little lowly in white pouted and opened the demonized stone in her hand. Huh, what's this? Suddenly, the little lowly noticed that on every sky island, almost all the students took out their mission scrolls and read them carefully. They looked terrified and shocked, as if they had seen a ghost. Curious, she also took out her mission scroll and opened it slightly. A blue ray of light spread out and affected the meeting. Some of the elders were dissatisfied and complained. Little Xian, if you want to play, then go outside. This is the meeting room. However, the little lowly in white didn't seem to hear what he said. The strange splendor and curiosity in her eyes grew stronger and stronger. Wait a minute. A green Master Rank student completed a blue Master Rank mission? Inside the meeting room, an elder with sharp eyes saw the contents of the azure light and immediately exclaimed. A blue merit rank mission was an extremely difficult mission in the academy. One had to be at least a blue merit rank student to accept it. In fact, many blue merit level students were carrying out youth merit level missions. Not only were blue merit level missions difficult, they were often accompanied by extremely high risk of death. Even if they were lucky enough not to encounter too much risk from the mission, the possibility of not completing the mission was extremely high. Not many people dare to take on such a strenuous and risky mission. On average, every blue merit rank student would only accept a blue merit rank mission once every 2 years. Therefore, every time someone completed a mission, all the students who used the mission scroll would be notified. But this was a mission that even blue merit students would find difficult to handle. Yet a youth training level student had completed it all by himself. The entire meeting room instantly fell into silence as all the higher-ups stared at that dazzling name. Everyone's hearts began to ripple with waves that hadn't appeared in a long time. Black Fog Island. Lin Shun joined forces with the ancient Azure Dragon and killed Onyx Soul on the spot. The ancient Azure Dragon's strength was close to the late stage of Heaven Dipper Realm, while Onyx Soul was only at the mid-stage of Heaven Dipper Realm. With Lin Chen's assistance, killing him wasn't a problem. After that, Lin Shun killed all the evil sect martial artists, not leaving a single one alive. He liberated many of the young boys and girls who were captured. On the west side of Black Fog Island, there was a place where the light was gradually dimming. Lin Shun held a bright talisman pearl in his hand as he floated in the air. That pearl was engraved with densely packed talismans and emitted a strange fluctuation as if it could connect to other energies in the space. What a strange pearl. This should be the last one. This thing is used to set up the ancient formation that protects the entire island. Although it's useless to me, it's still a high-grade treasure. I'll keep it first. After keeping the last talisman pearl, there were a total of 9 of them. After placing them in 9 positions, they could be used to set up a super formation to guard a fixed location. It was useless to Lin Shun, but it was still valuable. After completely destroying the few positions of the formation I left in Black Fog Island, Lin Shun sat cross-legged in the air and opened the system. Heavenly Tao Possession System version 3.0 host. Lin Shun Cultivation. Late stage of Heaven Dipper Realm. Limit, 35 Dragon Power. Chi and Blood Energy, 265. 466 million points. Battle Chi Essence, 2. 515 million points. Spiritual Power, 1. 0. 4 million points. Cultivation Soul Essence, 6. 9 million points. Mental Cultivation Method, 9 Calamities of Creation, 32%. Cultivation Method, Taisher Bible, 52%. Divine Wilderness 9 Arts, 100%. Special Treasure, True flame purple phoenix wings, 100%. Bloodline energy. Maximum of 3 types azure dragon bloodline, 21,000 points. Purple golden pupil bloodline, 10,000 points. Characteristic rune. Slow rune level 2, upgradable. Corrosion rune level 2, upgradable. Charging rune level 2, upgradable. Rune energy, 9, 21 million points. Various elemental energy. Fire element, 13. 99 million points. Earth element, 9. 98 million points. Wood element, 9. 6 million points. Metal element, 11. 2 million points. Water element, 10. 55 million points. Lightning element, 9. 71 million points. Wind element, 9. 22 million points. Light element, 9. 21 million points. Dark element, 11. 91 million points. After killing Onyx Soul, Lin Shan obtained a large amount of Battle Chi Essence. In addition to the mini Heaven Dipper Realm stage for Evil Sect martial artists, Lin Shan was not far from Heaven Dipper Realm stage 3. Let's continue to refine the energy of the True Dragon Soul Refining Pill. Lin Shan focused all of his attention on releasing the suppressed energy in his dantian. The ancient azure dragon beside him began to glow with a golden light. One man and one dragon began to crazily devour the energy of the True Dragon Soul Refining Pill. In less than 2 hours, a violent energy wave swept across the entire Black Fog Island like a hurricane. It shook the entire island as if something terrifying had landed on the island. Phew, this feels so good. If only I had another True Dragon Soul Refining Pill. Who knows? The ancient azure dragon might be able to enter the ranks of rank 5 high-grade vicious beasts. Lin Shan clenched his fist regretfully. With a casual flick of his finger, a tyrannical gust of wind shot out and crushed a mountain not far away. His pure strength had reached 45 dragon power, while the ancient azure dragon had 130 dragon power. It was ranked at the peak of rank 5 mid-grade, comparable to a Heaven Dipper Realm Stage 5. Chapter 218. If Lin Shan were to encounter 3 Heaven Star Border Stage 5 martial artists like Black Widow and the others, he was confident that he could defeat them directly without a sneak attack. It's time to leave. Spreading his purple phoenix wings, Lin Shan turned into a flash of light and flew into the sky. Half a day later, 3 figures flitted across the sky above Black Fog Island. The blue-robed man in the lead frowned as he sized up the entire island. Strange, very strange. There are only a few scattered young men and women on the entire Black Fog Island. Other than that, there's no aura of those evil martial artists. Could it be that they've turned out in full force? It's impossible that they don't even have a decent guard in their own lair. Let's go take a look at those young men and women. Boom. The 3 of them entered the void and arrived in front of the group of young men on the shore. Facing the sudden appearance of the 3, these young men who were about to leave with the ship were frightened. Don't be afraid. We're from the Lung family, an ancient family. We have no ill intentions. One of the young men comforted everyone. We'd like to ask, why are you the only ones left on this island? The young man comforted them. The 3 of them could tell that these young men and women were harmless and were not from the evil sections. Everyone looked at each other. One of the young women plucked up her courage and said with a red face, "It was a young master who saved us. He killed all the evil martial artists and left after freeing us." Brother? Everyone was stunned. What kind of a mortal was this? He was actually able to annihilate all the heretical martial artists. Lass, may I ask what characteristics this young master has? When did he leave? The young woman hesitated and did not speak immediately. She sized up the 3 of them with a timid gaze. Don't worry. We have no intention of harming him. If you're still worried, we can send you away from Black Fog Island. It won't be too late for you to tell us then. The young man smiled sincerely. The young woman then spoke. There was an azure dragon. That young master carried an azure dragon with him. We saw him release the azure dragon with our own eyes and then withdraw it. Azure dragon? And he carried it with him? The 3 of them were shocked. There is actually such a strange person in this world who could carry an azure dragon with him? Then, does he have any other characteristics? The young man asked with interest. The young girl's blushing face revealed a trace of shyness and admiration. Yes, he's very handsome. Achoo! Lin, who was moving at high speed, suddenly sneezed. He rubbed his nose and frowned. What's going on? Why do I seem to hear someone saying that I'm handsome behind my back? Suddenly, Lin Chen's eyes narrowed. Flying at full speed, he felt a strange power enveloping the space not far in front of him. This force seemed to be hiding a large number of things in this space. The sea in front of him seemed calm and empty, but in fact, spatial ripples were constantly moving, becoming very complicated. There's a powerful spatial barrier? Lin Chen was shocked. Before he could react, the woman's cold shout resounded through the sea. Where did you come from? How dare you trespass into my Cold Moon Branch family's territory? Leave immediately. Lin Chen was stunned. Why does this voice sound so familiar? Lin Chen turned around. Behind him, a beautiful and cold woman stood in the air. She held an ice spirit longbow in her hand and aimed it at Lin Chen. The two people's eyes met. Lin Chen recognized her at a glance. Teacher Lung Yueqi? Slightly frowning, Lung Yueqi asked doubtfully. Teacher, I don't remember teaching a student like you. It's me, Lin Chen. You're so handsome. Lin Chen tore off his carefully disguised human skin mask, revealing his true face. Looking at the familiar face of the young man, Lung Yueqi's heart trembled and she immediately cried out. Lin Chen, how can it be you? How can you be here? As soon as her voice fell, Lin Chen rushed over and hugged her, causing Lung Yueqi's beautiful face to blush. Teacher, I've missed you so much. Hey, why did you freeze my legs? Don't freeze the third one. I'll let go, okay? After a while, both sides finally understood each other's situation. The territory of Lung Yueqi's Lung Yu family was in the nearby area. Someone had to be stationed every day, so Lung Yueqi, who was not liked in the family, was assigned here. Lung Yueqi also knew that Lin Chen was admitted to the main academy and was very happy. I didn't expect teacher to be a member of an ancient family. Doesn't that mean your family has the legendary saint and saintess? Lin Chen was amazed. The legendary Lung Yu family was a famous ancient family in the spiritual state. It's just a branch of the Lung Yu family. The main academy is where the saint and saintess are born. Lung Yueqi shook her head and smiled. The strength of each ancient family was intricate and complicated. It was not as simple as people thought to give birth to a saint or saintess. By the way, teacher, with your potential and talent, why were you sent here to guard the border area? Lin Chen asked curiously. Lung Yueqi was now at the middle stage of Heaven Dipper Realm. After parting in the Evil King's secret realm, she should have had quite a few fortuitous encounters and breakthroughs. Combined with her real age and strength, she could be considered outstanding even among the ancient families. She was much stronger than that Ning Zhan whom Lin Chen had met. Because I contradicted the elders, I was punished to guard here for a month. Speaking of this, Lung Yueqi sighed deeply. Her beautiful eyes were filled with struggle and unwillingness. My father was an outsider, and my mother was from the Lung Yu family. After the branch, the family never liked them. Later, due to an accident during a family mission, my parents passed away. However, the family did not erect a monument for a long time, causing my parents to not even have the most basic status. Speaking of this, Lung Yueqi, who had always been calm and indifferent, was so angry that her delicate body trembled. Lin Chen just listened quietly. Father and mother clearly passed away because of a mission issued by the family. After returning to the family this time, I hope to prove my potential by making a breakthrough in my cultivation. I built my parents' tombstones in the branch family and left my parents' names in the family tree. However, I was obstructed by many people in the family in every way possible. I was even accused of going against the elders and being stationed in the border region again. Lin Chen gently held Lung Yueqi's soft hands. Her agitated emotions gradually calmed down. Today is the last day of guarding the border area. Lin Chen, you should go back quickly. Freshmen in the Heavenga main courtyard have to fight for every second. Lung Yuechi didn't know that Lin Shan was already a youth meritorious disciple. Instead, she was thinking for Lin Shan. Lung Yuechi, not only did you contradict the elders, you even fooled around while guarding the border area. You are really disgraceful. I think you don't even have the qualifications to be a member of our Lung Yu branch family. At this time, spatial ripples appeared in the space barrier. 5 young figures appeared. The leader, a woman in a red dress, sneered. She looked at Lung Yuechi with a faint resentment and jealousy. Chapter 219. The 3 men beside her were all excitedly looking at Lung Yuechi's figure and beautiful face. Lin Shan stood in front of Lung Yuechi without batting an eyelid. Who I chat with is my personal business. It's none of your business. Lung Yuechi said coldly. Seeing Lin Shan standing in front of her, her heart was filled with warmth. Oomph. You can only be sharp-tongued now. You can get lost now. We still have to welcome the 3 seniors here. Lung Yuechi didn't care about it and said to Lin Shan, I'm going back to the family. You go back to the main courtyard first. I'll visit you when I have the chance. Go back. Why do you want to go back? I want to enter the Lung family with you. Lin Shan blurted out without thinking. Oh, Lung Yuechi, you want to bring an outsider into the Lung family? I think you have ulterior motives. You should know that other than the Lung family members or their partners, any outsider must get the approval of the elders to enter. The woman in red narrowed her eyes, and a trace of killing intent flashed past. If Lung Yuechi wanted to bring an outsider in, then they had the right to directly attack Lung Yuechi. She, who was jealous of Lung Yuechi, couldn't ask for more. Did you hear that? Lin Shan, don't mess around. Lung Yuechi rolled her eyes at Lin Shan seriously. Instead, Lin Shan hugged her slender waist. Under the jealous gazes of the 3 men, the corners of Lin Shan's mouth curled into a devilish smile. He smiled freely. I'm her partner. What right do I have not to enter? Everyone was stunned. Lin Shan, Lung Yuechi exclaimed, but Lin Shan raised her chin with his fingertips and smiled evilly. Yuechi, we even did that last time, didn't we? I'm preparing to come to your family to propose marriage this time. I can be considered half a member of the Lung family. That matter was naturally the matter of Lin Shan carving the ice wedding dress for her. But when it fell into the ears of others, it was not the case. What? Cousin Lung Yuechi actually likes this kind of child? The 3 men said indignantly. Oomph. You're just a reserved person on the surface. The woman in red retracted her killing intent and sneered. Lung Yuechi was helpless. According to Lin Shan's temperament, if she exposed him here and he insisted on entering, he definitely wouldn't give up. She could only lead Lin Shan to remove the spatial enchantment and enter the area of the Cold Moon Branch family. A young girl took over her post, while the other 4 continued to wait outside. After passing through the spatial barrier, a brand new landscape came into view. The mountain range was like a crouching dragon, and numerous palaces and pavilions stood in great numbers. It was completely different from the boundless ocean from before. Hidden heaven and earth. 1,000 miles away, there was an ancient pagoda that pierced through the clouds. It was so tall that one couldn't see the end of it. Little Hundun, how long are you going to hug me for? Lung Yuechi rolled her eyes at Lin Shan as her cold and elegant face revealed a touch of moving crimson. Lin Shan let go of her hand with an embarrassed smile and subconsciously said, You're right. So soft. Ignoring Lin Chen's words, Lung Yuechi stroked her black hair and asked, By the way, why do you want to enter the Cold Moon family? I just want to see what my beautiful teacher's family is like. Besides, didn't you say last time that if I came to find you about the matter under the snow mountain, you said we could continue? Lin Shan touched his chin and said with a smirk. Lung Yuechi giggled. Then, Lung Yuechi flew into a mountain range with Lin Shan and stopped in front of a pavilion. Wait for me here, Lung Yuechi said, and stepped into the pavilion. Lin Shan had nothing to do outside. Occasionally, he would look for tribute light balls nearby and wait in boredom. Yuechi, how many times have we said that your father married into our Cold Moon family, and is not qualified to put his name on the genealogy and set up a tombstone. Your mother is a woman, so she is even less qualified to enter the genealogy. If you're stubborn, I'll punish you by sending you to the border region for another month. In a secret room in the pavilion, a group of Lung family elders waved their hands impatiently. Lung Yuechi's delicate body trembled as she bit her red lips. Seeing this, an elder shook his head and sighed. Forget it. Don't say that we didn't give you a chance. If you can pass the 5th floor of the Thousand Moon Tower, we'll do as you wish. But you're a woman. According to the rules, you have to find another partner who can pass the tower with you. You know the rules of the Thousand Moon Tower. A trace of ridicule appeared in the eyes of many elders. They understood the intention of this elder. He was just giving a reason to send this woman away. Lung Yuechi knew this, and her expression gradually became colder. The Thousand Moon Tower was an inheritance of the Cold Moon family. Every branch family had one. Inside were creatures formed by ice spirit energy and had extremely strong combat power. The creatures in the tower were determined by the strength of the person who entered the tower. From the 1st floor onwards, the cultivation of the creatures in the tower would be higher than the person who entered the tower. The further the tower went, the stronger the cultivation of the creatures in the tower. With Lung Yuechi's strength, she would encounter at least a Heaven Star Border Stage 5 special life form on the 5th floor. Since you've said so, you can leave now. Come find us when you find someone who can pass the tower with you. The leading elder flicked his sleeve impatiently. I'm Lung Yuechi's partner. The door opened, and Lin Chen walked into the room with a smile on his face. All the elders looked at the young man's chest and saw the green medal on his chest. A student of the Heavenly Song Academy and a young merit warrior? Some of the elders were surprised. They had heard of the Heavenly Song Academy for a long time. Lung Yuechi looked at him in a daze. Didn't this young man just enter the academy? How could he be a young merit warrior? Elder, you won't go back on your words, right? Lin Chen smiled. The leading elder immediately looked at Lung Yuechi. At this point, Lung Yuechi didn't care too much and nodded. He's my partner. I request to enter the Thousand Moon Pagoda. Her parents were the heavens. Even if she had to go through a mountain of swords and a sea of flames, she would still give it a try. Oomph. That elder coldly snorted as he stared deeply at Lin Shun. He discovered that even with his cultivation, he was unable to see through the depths of this young man. Casually taking out a red brush, the elder's brush moved like a gust of wind, inscribing an order on a jade slip. Take it. This is the permission to enter the Thousand Moon Pagoda. You can use it the day after tomorrow. Remember, you only have one chance. The jade slip moved like lightning. Lung Yuechi grabbed it, nodded, and left with Lin Shun. Elder Lei, why did you give him the command? Yeah, what if this young man is cheating? The other elders who were prejudiced against Lung Yuechi said with dissatisfaction. If we don't let her hit a wall, she won't give up. Moreover, her so-called partner is just a young boy. He's not even 19 years old. What can he do at such a young age? Chapter 220. That was the elders' meeting room. Do you know you'll be in big trouble if you barge in like that? Outside the pavilion, Lung Yuechi rebuked Lin Chun in a pavilion, fearing that he would offend the Lung family's branch elders. Instead, he stared at Lung Yuechi seriously. But parents are more important, aren't they? Lung Yuechi was startled. Although she wanted to refute, she couldn't say anything. Yo, our icy beauty has a partner? He really made others envious. However, tomorrow is great-grandfather's birthday. I wonder if you two outsiders have prepared a gift for the birthday banquet? If great-grandfather is unhappy, the token just now might be taken back. A mocking sneer came from outside the pavilion. 3 young men arrived with fans in their hands. There was a blue pattern of different shades between their eyebrows. Lung Dao, there's no need for you to make sarcastic remarks here. Lung Yuechi stood in front of Lin Chun and said indifferently, You actually like this kind of trash. I didn't know you were such a slut. The young man with the deepest blue pattern sneered, revealing his killing intent. The Lung family allowed the family members to marry. He had once pursued Lung Yueqi in public and was rejected. He was disgraced and held a grudge. Watch your mouth. Lung Yueqi's face was as cold as frost. Hee, you only know how to hide behind a woman. Lung Dao sneered. His voice was mixed with a spiritual attack that attacked Lin Shun, who was behind Lung Yueqi. His spiritual power had already reached the spirit transformation realm. Bang! Ah! Lung Dao's spiritual power was silently crushed. He screamed like a pig being slaughtered. He covered his head and rolled on the ground, attracting the attention of many Lung family servants. The two young men beside him looked at him in shock and quickly helped him up. Showing off your spiritual power in front of this handsome guy, you're nothing. Lin Shan flicked his fingernails and smiled casually. His spiritual power was very close to the middle stage of the spirit transformation realm. He was many times stronger than this rookie who had just entered the spirit transformation realm. The Genesis sacred scripture that he cultivated had a rich foundation. If they were to fight, even someone at the mid-stage of the spirit transformation realm wouldn't be able to win. Lin Shun casually grabbed a golden treasure chest that was floating in the air. This was the chest that had fallen out of Lung Dao's body. Host has opened the gold treasure chest. You have obtained the Green Peak Spirit Cultivation Manual, 4 Seals of Manifestation. Lin Shin casually glanced at it and lost interest. Peak Blue Tier Incomplete Book? Compared to his Taisher Holy Scripture, it was like heaven and earth. Lung Yueqi turned her head and discovered that Lin Shun was much stronger than before. It was beyond her comprehension. Seeing that more and more people were gathering around, Lung Yueqi held Lin Shin's hand and quickly left the Elder's Hall. You? Lung Dao was furious and in pain. Before he could stop Lin Shun, the two of them had already disappeared outside the Elder's Hall. Inside Lung Yueqi's boudoir, Lung Dao is a natural talent, but he is extremely narrow-minded. You are too reckless this time. Tomorrow, he will definitely make things difficult for you at great-grandfather's birthday banquet. Lung Yueqi pulled up the curtains and helplessly rolled her eyes at Lin Shun. Counter soldiers with arms, water with an earth weir. If a woman comes, I'll take her. Lin Shun casually picked up a berry and took a few bites as he smiled indifferently. That's the only way. If I offend great-grandfather, my trip to the Thousand Moon Tower will definitely be blocked. Lung Yueqi pondered. Although this great-grandfather didn't make things difficult for her like the other elders, he was a very prideful person. The next day, in the southern district of the Lung Yu branch family, on the southern district's Purple Cloud Peak, 2 rank 5 magic cloud spirit cranes were flying in the sky to celebrate the birthday. They represented the host and welcomed the experts from all over. At the peak of the mountain, many experts of the Lung Yu branch family were enthusiastically celebrating the birthday. Many famous people in the outside world were also invited. The Vice Sect Master of the Holy Sword Sect presents 3 rank 5 mid-stage swords, the Myriad Green Sword. I wish old Master Lung a long life. The servant read out the names of the guests' gifts, and the VIPs took their seats one after another. Sitting at the peak of the Purple Cloud Peak, the white-haired old man looked dignified without being angry. Between his eyebrows, he had the aura of a superior. From time to time, he would smile and nod slightly at the guests. Lung Yueqi brought Lin Shun to great-grandfather's 3,000th birthday banquet and sat at the Purple Cloud Peak. After arriving at the banquet, Lin Shun had a new understanding of the ancient families. Just a branch family of an ancient family was not inferior to a first-rate force in the spiritual state. The atmosphere became silent and solemn. Everyone looked at the old man sitting at the head of the table. The old man stood up. Although he was old, he was full of energy and dignity. He raised his cup and smiled faintly. Everyone, you are giving me face by coming here today. I, Lung Yin, will drink this cup first. After saying that, he drained his cup in one gulp. Some masters who entered the Lung Yueqi branch family for the first time were excited. Being able to make the respected elder of the Lung Yueqi branch family drink a cup was something worth bragging about. Knowing that today is great-grandfather's birthday, Lung Dao made some preparations and came late. Please forgive me, great-grandfather. At this moment, a young man in white came from outside the door. Beside him was a servant who was carrying an exquisite jade box. Hee, so it's Lung Dao. It's okay with the gift, as long as the thought is there. Lung Yin stroked his beard and smiled. Although he said so, he glanced at the jade box without batting an eyelid. Lin Chun was amused. This old man really cared about his reputation. He was so old, but his vanity was even stronger than Lin Chen's. You can only show your sincerity when the gift is heavy. You can't be perfunctory like some people here. Lung Dao's words were sarcastic. He glanced at Lin Chun and Lung Yueqi, who were sitting in the corner. Great-grandfather, please take a look at my sincerity. Lung Dao opened the jade box. There was a blood spirit ginseng inside. Its roots were red and translucent. It was a glazed elixir. When the jade box was opened, a faint medicinal fragrance condensed into a glow that slowly floated into the air. Medicinal fragrance transforms into a glow. It's at least a level 5 superior grade elixir. Hiss, level 5 superior grade. Many of the guests were shocked. Lung Dao smiled proudly. This is an 8,000-year-old blood spirit ginseng and a level 5 superior grade elixir, the 1,000 Life Yang elixir. It can increase your lifespan by 500 years. Lung Dao introduced proudly. Lung Yin stroked his beard and said with satisfaction, "Yes, Lung Dao, you are so considerate. These two items are definitely not ordinary. Thank you for giving great-grandfather such a precious gift. You are such a good grandson." Lin Chen almost spat on the spot. Good grandson? Why does it sound so spicy? That's nothing. Today's highlight was Yu Qi's little cousin's partner. He was from the famous Heavenly Song Academy, and Dao Er's gift was probably just the icing on the cake for this dear friend. Don't you think so, Brother Lin Chun? Lung Dao laughed sarcastically. Everyone followed his line of sight and looked at Lin Chun and Lung Yueqi. Oh, a youth merit-level genius? Lung Yin discovered Lin Chen's location. He found that he couldn't see through this kid's cultivation. He could only see that his body was covered with fire, like a net of fire. Chapter 221. Lung Yueqi pursed her lips slightly. This fellow flattering Lin Chun like this. It was clear that he wanted to put Lin Chun on the spot. How did Brother Lung know that I also prepared a small gift? Brother Lung knows me best. Unexpectedly, Lin Feng walked over while clapping his hands enthusiastically. That smile was like a matchmaker meeting a girl for a blind date. Lung Dao's scalp went numb. Why was this brat so enthusiastic? Did he eat me poop? Although it's a small gift, Brother Lung Dao's gift and mine are really just icing on the cake. Lin Chen shook his head. The guests were curious. What kind of gift did this brat prepare? Even a high-grade level 5 pill could only be used as a foil? Not more than half of the people present could take out a high-grade level 5 pill. Even if they could, they wouldn't be willing to take it out. Who wouldn't protect it like a treasure? Oh, I wonder if this little brother can broaden this old man's horizons as well. Lung Yin was getting more and more curious. He smiled at a young man and asked. Seeing her great-grandfather smile, Lung Yueqi's heart trembled. What kind of gift did this brat Lin Chen prepare? He dared to say that a high-grade level 5 pill was only a foil? If he couldn't take it out, with her great-grandfather's temper, his qualifications to enter the Thousand Moon Tower might be revoked tomorrow. Here, old Master Lung, this is a mental cultivation secret manual that I've been using recently to sleep. I'll give it to you to play with. Lin Chen casually took out a brand new scroll, and on it were the words image transformation 4 seals engraved. Lung Dao sucked in a breath of cold air when he saw it. Isn't this my mental cultivation secret manual? How'd it end up in this brat's hands? The 4 seals of image transformation was a top-grade secret manual that Lung Dao had obtained by chance a few years ago. It was his biggest secret. With this secret manual, Lung Dao's mental strength grew rapidly. It even allowed his later saber techniques to be infused with mental strength attacks. It was exceptionally domineering. The 4 seals of image transformation was Lung Dao's lifeblood. It was his most prized secret and treasure. No one knew that he had a mental cultivation secret manual. If the preciousness of this item was exposed, even the upper echelons of the branch family would covet it. But the question was, how did it end up in Lin Chen's hands? If it weren't for the fact that there were so many distinguished guests today, Coldblade would probably have gone berserk and fought with Lin Shan on the spot. Lung Yin took the scroll with some shock and surprise. After flipping through it, the initial hand seals and incantations confirmed Lung Dao's conjecture. It was exactly the same as the 4 seals of image transformation that he obtained. It's really a top-grade blue rank mental energy cultivation manual. This is such a precious gift. Lung Yin was stunned. Just where did this young man come from? Even as an elder of the Lung Yu branch family, he couldn't get his hands on such an item. Lin Shun and Lung Yueqi had specially inquired about it. Because great-grandfather Lung Yin had suffered a mental injury when he was young, he had not fully recovered yet. It had always been his wish to have a spiritual cultivation manual. However, a spiritual-type cultivation manual was too rare. It was comparable to a blue-tier cultivation manual. When Lin Shun had opened this item from the treasure chest on Lung Dao's body, he had casually used his spiritual power to copy it down. It couldn't be any easier. Such a precious gift. This. Lung Yin was both agitated and hesitant for the sake of her feelings. Precious? No. This is just a small token from Miss Junior. It can't be considered a small token. It's a medium token. Looking at Lin Chen's smiling face as he handed over his most precious spiritual cultivation manual, Lung Dao was about to go crazy. His eyes were bloodshot. You despicable and shameless dog thief. How dare you steal my mental cultivation secret manual? Lung Dao roared hoarsely, completely losing his composure. His surging battle aura overturned the surrounding banquet tables and scattered wine all over the distinguished guests. Brother Dao, how can you slander me? This secret manual is something that I, Lin Shun, picked up. I, Lin Shun, am an upright person. My moral integrity and appearance are directly proportional. How could I do such a shady business? If Brother Dao is not convinced, you can also show me your mental strength cultivation secret manual to prove it. Lin Chen said righteously. Strictly speaking, he had indeed picked it up. Lung Dao wished he could cut him into 1,000 pieces. When he had obtained his fortuitous encounter, the ancient books that recorded the cultivation method had long been destroyed. How could there be a manual left? His spiritual realm couldn't be compared to Lin Chen's. It would take him several days and nights to inscribe the 4 elephant transformation seals on the spot. The crowd wouldn't give him the time to prove himself. Moreover, with my background, why would I need to steal such a small gift? This is the congratulatory gift I want to give to old Master Lung Yin. Lin Shun flipped his hand, and 9 light pearls carved with talismans appeared in his palm. They vaguely formed an ancient array. Some of the knowledgeable experts present were shocked speechless. Talisman pearls at the eye of the array. This is a treasure used to set up an array. TSK. The array formed by these 9 talisman pearls is vast and unpredictable. It has a hint of the ancient era. If there's enough energy, I'm afraid it can even reach the 8th or 9th stage of the Heaven Star border realm. Old Master Lung Yin was also shocked. Such a precious treasure was not the slightest bit inferior to the Spirit Cultivation Secret Manual just now. To a force or sect, the value of the Talisman Pearls was even higher than a top-grade green Spiritual Cultivation Manual. This item was of little value to Lin Shun. Using this item to set up an array required a large amount of energy to support it, and it couldn't leave the protective range of the array. It was useless to him, so he might as well use it to help Lung Yueqi. Before anyone could react, Lin Shun stuffed the 9 talisman pearls into old Master Lung Yin's hands and turned to leave. He looked up to the sky and sighed. Please accept this item, old Master Lung. Sigh. I didn't expect to be framed just for attending the birthday banquet. It's so tiring to be targeted everywhere I go. It seems like someone doesn't welcome me at today's birthday banquet. Yueqi, let's go. After that, Lin Shun walked back to the corner, pulled Lung Yueqi, who couldn't help laughing and walked down the mountain without looking back. Don't go. Lin Chun. Little brother, let's be friends. Many guests and old Master Lung Yin hurriedly urged him to stay, but Lin Chen's legs seemed to have grown wings as he disappeared in a flash. Seeing that he missed the opportunity to befriend Lin Chun, old Master Lung Yin was furious and threw Lung Dao's jade box back at him. Look at what you've done for me. Take your things and get lost. Great-grandfather. Lung Dao was so angry that he didn't know what to say. At this moment, one of the guests shook his head and sighed. What a good young man. He looks like an honest child. Why is the young master of the Lung family holding on to him so tightly? Hearing this, Lung Dao's veins bulged and the corner of his mouth twitched violently. He was so angry that he spat out a mouthful of blood and fainted. Chapter 222. Hee, running away after acting cool. How exciting. A certain Lin Chao thought to himself. If he knew that Lung Dao was still angry to the point of vomiting blood after he left, he would probably go back and dance in front of him. I've made you spend a lot of money this time. Lung Yueqi's face flushed red as he held her hand. She knew that Lin Chun had done all this for her sake. What's there to spend? No matter how important those things are, they are not as important as teacher Yueqi. Lin Chun suddenly turned his head and said in a serious tone. Lung Yueqi's heart was beating wildly from his words. Actually, those things are really not important to me. Teacher Yueqi, don't feel pressured. The most important thing is to enter the 1,000 Moon Tower tomorrow. Lin Chun chuckled. With Lung Yueqi's intelligence, she naturally understood his intentions. Now that her great-grandfather had accepted Lin Chun's 2 precious treasures in front of everyone, he would not dare to make things difficult for Lin Chun. He might even give him some help. As the saying goes, one's mouth is short when one eats from others, and one's hands are soft when one takes from others. Lung Yueqi revealed a rare trace of a beautiful smile. It was as if an iceberg had melted, shining down a dazzling ray of light. Let's go. We'll be entering the tower tomorrow. I'll bring you to see our Lung Yu branch family's 1,000 Moon Tower. Lung Yueqi took the initiative to bring him to the tallest building in the branch family's territory. The next day, 1,000 Moon Tower. There were at least hundreds of thousands of people standing outside the 1,000 Moon Tower to watch. The news of Elder Lung Yin's birthday banquet had spread like wildfire. In just one day, many people in the Lung Yu branch family knew about it. Everyone was curious as to what kind of person was able to make the arrogant and unruly Lung Dao suffer. Especially today, he was going to enter the 1,000 Moon Tower with Lung Yueqi. I heard the elders say that Lung Yueqi and that Lin Chun have to reach the 5th floor before they can engrave their parents' names in the family tree. Her married father and good-for-nothing mother? You're dreaming if you want to enter the genealogy. The 5th floor is simply impossible. 1,000 years ago, the number 1 genius of our Lung Yu family, Lung Chongfeng, only reached the 5th floor with a cultivation base of Heaven Dipper Realm late stage. With Lung Yueqi's cultivation base, I'm afraid the 4th floor has already encountered the Heavenly Dipper Realm 5th level Ice Hornless Dragon. There is no chance of winning. I reckon that with that Lin Chun dragging us down, we might not even be able to pass the 3rd level. Many youngsters from the Cold Moon branch family mocked in disdain. At the entrance of the 1,000 Moon Tower, 2 Heavenly Dipper Realm powerhouses guarding the entrance let Lin Chun and Lung Yueqi pass. After entering the pagoda, Elder Lung Yin was already waiting for them. Seeing Lin Chun and Lung Yueqi, Lung Yin coughed lightly. Please show the letter of entry to the 1,000 Moon Pagoda. Lin Chun flicked his finger and a jade slip flew over. Lung Yin checked it and accepted it. Then she waved her hand and the door opened. He lifted his foot and left. When he brushed past the 2 of them, he seemed to be talking to himself. The Ice Hornless Dragon's weakness lies in its strongest defense. The 2's eyes lit up. Without saying anything, they walked into the pagoda. They pushed open a spatial door and stepped into a vast world of ice and snow. Goose feathers fluttered in the snow. At the end of the world of ice and snow, There was a spiral staircase that led to a higher level. Outside the Thousand Moon Pagoda, the demonic eye stone in the void displayed 12 screens. Lin Shun and Lung Yueqi's figures were projected on the screens. Outside the pagoda, the people from the Cold Moon Branch family could clearly see the situation inside the pagoda. Some of the prodigies were even betting on how many levels Lin Shun and Lung Yueqi could pass. Inside the pagoda, snow danced. The two of them walked forward slowly. Lung Yueqi was vigilant of the surroundings. Host has received 30,000 water-type energy points and 20,000 water-type energy points. Lin Shun casually picked up 2 attribute light balls that were hanging on a snow tree. His eyes lit up. In the world of ice and snow, there were a large number of water-type attribute light balls. They were like snowflakes that could be seen everywhere. Although the attribute values were a little low, there were still a lot of them. Roar! The beast's roar shook the ground. Ice crystals condensed into 2 ice wolves. Each of them had 2 heads. The wolf's fangs were like blades. The pale white claws were like blades that cut through the snow surface. Be careful! Lung Yueqi was about to pull the ice bow when Lin Shun touched his nose and laughed. A snow wolf king comparable to a heaven dipper realm, middle stage 2? Not a big deal. After saying that, he sent a slap over. Between the 5 fingers, there was a space-distorting dragon force. It was like a ghost had descended. The palm pierced through the earth veins. Bang! The earth shook. The first Snow Wolf King was blown apart by Lin Shen's palm. It disappeared in an instant. It turned into nothingness. The pure strength rolled up a hurricane and overturned the second Snow Wolf King. Lin Chen leaped up. In the void, his feet were like a dragon overturning the river as he stomped down. Boom! His feet stomped on the Snow Wolf King's head, causing a snowflake wave that was hundreds of feet high. The Cold Moon Branch family members who were watching from outside were shocked. Looking at the scene in the screen, many of the prodigies were still dumbfounded. What kind of monster is this? 2 moves to kill 2 Snow Wolf Kings comparable to a Heaven Dipper realm middle stage 2? This is too monstrous. The Cold Moon Branch family's young prodigies were shocked and dignified. This strength was definitely in the top 10 among their peers in the Branch family. It's actually a pure strength body refinement martial artist. This old man underestimated this kid. Those 2 moves just now should have 30 dragon force. His pure strength is comparable to a Heaven Dipper realm middle stage 4. Interesting. Even the Branch family's upper echelons and elders who didn't pay attention to Lin Shun at the beginning were stunned. He killed 2 Snow Wolf Kings. What is he touching? There's nothing in the Thousand Moon Pagoda except for the hornless ice dragon, right? Some of the prodigies exclaimed. The young man in the pagoda was actually touching everywhere. They couldn't understand what he was doing. Inside the Thousand Moon Pagoda, Host received 10,000 water energy points, 20,000 water energy points. Lin Shen picked up a large number of attribute light balls. His water energy points increased by a few million points. In the Sky Academy, it was impossible to have such an increase without spending hundreds of thousands of points. Sister Yueqi, let's go up, Lin Shun said expectantly as he thought of the higher echelons above. Seeing that Lin Shun was still as mysterious as before, Lung Yueqi smiled and flew up to the 2nd level with him. Although the Thousand Moon Pagoda was somewhat mysterious, the creatures that were born in the pagoda were still inferior to the real experts. They didn't have high spirituality and only had pure combat strength. Unless the difference in cultivation realm was too big, there was still a chance to defeat them. Thousand Moon Pagoda's 2nd level. Bang! 2 energy waves exploded. In a snow-covered mountain range, 2 9-pattern frost flood dragons were entrenched in a corner. Their auras were turbulent and domineering. The 2 flood dragons attacked Lin Shun and Lung Yueqi from the left and right. Everywhere they passed, a snowstorm was created. 2 9-pattern frost flood dragons comparable to a Heaven Dipper realm middle stage 3. Let's try releasing 35 dragon force. Lin Shen's lips curled into a maniacal smile with a ferocious glint. Chapter 223. The Thousand Moon Pagoda was created by the ancestors of the Lung family, and it contained countless battle spaces. No matter how much Lin Chen messed around, he could not damage it at all. On the second floor, boom, the dragon chi roared, causing the space to distort. Lin Chen suppressed the nine-patterned frost jiao with his palm. His eyes glowed, and the nine-patterned frost jiao became transparent and dazzling under his purple gold eyes. 144? It's completely in the form of energy. There's not even a trace of life in it. Lin Chen was surprised that he could not see the weakness of this creature with his purple gold eyes. Other than the nine-patterned frost jiao's killing intent, there was nothing else. Rip! She pulled the ice bow with her jade-like hand, and a sonic boom surrounded her. 3 ice light arrows fell like meteors and exploded on the body of another 9-patterned icy flood dragon. The space-freezing frost jiao's forelimbs and head were frozen, and it could not move at all. Lin Chen swung his raging fist and smashed the 9-patterned frost jiao beneath him into pieces. Then he swept his leg across the air. His 35 dragon power points were like a group of dragons roaring. A strong gust of wind swept across the air and split the second 9-patterned frost jiao's head open like a guillotine. Instant kill. Another instant kill. The two of them did not stay on the second floor for more than 15 minutes. They continued to the third floor. The Lung Yu family's elites gathered outside the pagoda began to look serious. Being able to reach the third floor meant that he was one of the best in the branch family. Isn't this kid not even 19 years old? How can he be so strong? Lung Dao, who was standing on a mountain peak, felt a lingering fear in his heart. Lin Chen's strength was probably above his own. He could have killed the 2 9-patterned frost jiao, but he could not have done it as easily as Lin Chen. In the tallest pavilion 100 miles away from the Thousand Moon Pagoda, the light yellow demon ice stone spun in the secret chamber, projecting Lin Chen and Lung Yueqi's figures. 15 figures sat in different corners of the secret chamber. The atmosphere was heavy and silent. These 15 people were the elders of the Lung family. Some of them were highly respected and could decide the life and death of their family members with just a word. This little fellow hid himself very well. Back then, we couldn't even detect his cultivation. He can control his pure strength with ease. Every attack is exactly 35 dragon power. He's still holding back. The two elders looked at each other and thought of the same thing. Let's wait and see. With Lung Yueqi's cultivation, she will definitely encounter a Heaven Star Border Stage 5 and above in the 5th floor. Only those who can break through that boundary will have the qualifications to be called a Heaven's Pride in the Lung Yu family. Second elder is right. Don't be happy too early. Our Lung Yu family doesn't need people who have small achievements in the branch family. We need people who can truly reach the peak. The blue-robed old man sitting at the head of the table suddenly asked in a hoarse voice, "How's that matter going? If a mere black widow affects the foundation of my Cold Moon branch family, wouldn't it be a joke?" After he finished speaking, 3 figures immediately stood up and cupped their fists respectfully. "Elder, the Black Widows have been completely annihilated. Other than that, there are 2 famous heretical experts among them. However, this wasn't done by us. When we arrived at the scene, we were already too late." The 3 of them briefly explained the matter. All the elders were slightly refreshed, and their eyes flashed with a curious light. Such a bizarre matter actually happened? At such a young age, he killed 3 Heaven Star Border Stage 5 and many heretical sects? Such a Heaven's Pride should be famous in the spiritual state. Why have we never heard of him? While the elders were still thinking about the Black Fog Island, 2 of them exclaimed in unison, "They've reached the 4th floor. The 4th floor of the Thousand Moon Pagoda." 2 frost black dragons flapped their 4 pairs of dragon wings. Their dragon breaths blew across thousands of miles, sweeping away thousands of layers of snow and swallowing the 9 Heavens River. One of the frost black dragon's body was close to 1,000 feet in size. Intermediate Stage 5 Frost Black Dragon's combat strength is close to Heaven Star Border Stage 5. We can't beat this big guy with pure strength. Lin Shun was the first to release all the dragon energy in his body. Dragon energy flowed through his meridians and pores. 45 streams of dragon energy left his body and burst out like a volcano. Dragon claws rolled up endless snowstorms. The strongest frost black dragon reached out with its dragon claw. The rolling dragon breath rushed forward, pushing away mountains and falling stars. Fire bloodline transformation. Lin Shen's body was covered in violent red flames. The wind from his fist looked down on the world as 45 dragon energy violently struck out. He faced the frost black dragon's dragon breath claw head-on. Chi! Bang! Bang! Lin Shen punched out 3 times in a row. The energy storm of ice and fire intertwined in the middle. He took the dragon's claw head-on and punched back to break its dragon scales. Roar! The dragon's tail was like a mountain range in the sky. The other frost black dragon swung its tail and smashed down. Purple light flashed in his eyes. Lin Shen stepped on a green whirlwind and teleported in 3 steps. His figure was like a flickering shadow as he jumped 10,000 meters away. The dragon's tail hit nothing but air. The aftershock caused thousands of layers of snow to fall. Charging rune, thunderstorm. Lin Shen quickly turned around in the air. His left leg transformed into the lightning bloodline. Lightning flashed and combined with 45 dragon energy. He chopped down like a battle axe. Chi! Crack! The leg broke the earth's vein, and the dragon's tail was split in half. The dragon claw lifted the earth's crust and broke through the snow. Lin Shun urged his heavenly dipper battle chi, and his figure nimbly turned around like a swimming dragon. His leg whipped with the light of thunder and fire, and before he was sent flying, his leg smashed into Black Dragon's claw. Boom! Lin Shun was sent flying 10,000 meters away. Along the way, he crashed into a snowy mountain. However, a shocking change suddenly occurred. Bang! 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 At the location where Lin Shun had been fighting, 4,000-meter-tall solid rock walls suddenly burst out of the ground. The rock walls were like 4 connected mountains, tight and airtight. They were abnormally strong and surrounded the 2 frost black dragons. Within Lin Shen's 9-color battle spirit, the light belonging to the Earth attribute battle chi had completely dimmed. This move had exhausted all of his Earth attribute battle chi. Even a Heaven Dipper Realm Stage 5 would not be able to break the rock walls so easily. Surrounded by 4 walls, the 2 dragons were about to fly away when Lin Shen suddenly shouted, "Master Yuechi, I'm ready." Lung Yuechi, who was 10,000 meters in the air, understood. A deep blue mark quickly appeared between her eyebrows, and her aura soared to Heaven Dipper Realm Stage 3. She pulled the bowstring, and an arrow flashing with a blue star light suddenly shot out. Ice King Arrow. The blue star arrow flashed through the air like a shooting star and instantly pierced into the 4 stone walls. The 2 dragons opened their mouths and spat out a fierce ice dragon's breath. But who would have thought that the arrow could absorb the ice energy in the dragon's breath and become even stronger? Water bloodline. I'm water. Lin Shen's entire body transformed into water bloodline. His body was a dazzling blue as he slammed his palms into the snow. I'm water. I'm water. I'm water. Ha ha ha. Every time Lin Shun slammed his palms, a roaring wave of water energy would be transmitted into the ground. The vast and majestic water attribute battle, chi, transformed into an ocean and surged out from the 4 rock walls. Boom! The Ice King arrow combined with Lin Shen's water attribute battle chi made it seem like an ice age had arrived. Biting cold air rose and completely froze the 2 frost black dragons inside the rock walls. Unable to move for a short period of time, Lin Shun purposely left a hole and walked into the rock spear. He held the abyss spear in his hand and patted the area below the frost black dragon's tail. He shook his head and sighed. Sigh. My weakness is that I'm too kind. Before I kill my opponent, I have to euthanize them. After saying that, Lin Chun gently wiped the tip of his abyss spear and found the right position. Lin Chun was like a billiard player who was about to start a game. After slowly aiming, he fiercely stabbed the tip of his spear. A frenzied attack. A frenzied stab. Hiss. The 100,000-plus Lung Yueqi's branch family members outside the tower sucked in a breath of cold air. Their palms unconsciously covered their buttocks. Seeing Lin Chen's skillful and experienced technique, everyone felt their scalps go numb and their feet turn cold. This is called being kind. Chapter 224. Lin Chen's spear technique was like a dragon, hitting the bullseye every time. The sound of the ice breaking was like a broken chrysanthemum, sad and sorrowful. That day, all of the Lung Yu branch family members who were watching the battle were forever traumatized. They could never forget the frost black dragon's scream and roar that came from the demon's eye stone. But what attracted the attention of many experts was Lin Chen's true strength. When he used his battle chi, Lin Chen's true cultivation was exposed in front of everyone. Late-stage heaven, star border realm. Most importantly, he was only 19 years old. He already had the strength of a heaven star border realm stage 5. Even the Lung Yu branch family, he would be considered a rare genius. Inside the Elder's secret room in a pavilion 100 miles away from the Thousand Moon Tower. Good kid, he hid his strength so well. His battle chi and body tempering are both top-notch. And in battle, his battle chi and body tempering are perfectly combined. He's different from those simple-minded barbarians who only know how to use 30% of their strength. If he's properly trained, he'll definitely be a gem. Lung Yuqi actually brought back such a genius for our branch family. We must keep him. What a pity. His combat strength is probably at its lowest. If he insists on entering the 5th floor, the tower spirit won't be so easy to deal with. The elders were overjoyed as they discussed heatedly. In fact, not only the Lung Yu branch family, but even the main Lung Yu branch family have been recruiting geniuses from all over the world. If a woman wanted to enter the Thousand Moon Tower to prove her strength, she had to bring along her male partner. The reason for this was that the Lung Yu branch family was ranked at the bottom among the ancient families. Although they could dominate the spiritual state with their powerful foundation, they couldn't catch up with the other ancient families in terms of ancient families. Therefore, in order to catch up with the other ancient families, the main family had to resort to this method. The younger generation of the ancient families were deeply involved in the competition for benefits. It was so deep that they couldn't give up on the benefits of recruiting foreign experts. Inside the 4th floor of the Thousand Moon Tower. Phew, it's really refreshing. My spear skills have improved quite a bit recently. One against a girl, and the other against a beast. Where's it wrong? Lin Shin passed through the other side of the rock wall. The frozen black dragon behind him suddenly disappeared. An array of moonlight gradually sprinkled down. The Thousand Moon Pagoda. According to the wise sages of the past, there was 1,000 moons hidden within the pagoda. The higher one climbed to the top, the brighter the moonlight, and the greater the chance of obtaining a fortuitous encounter. However, since ancient times, no one from the Lung clan had been able to solve this secret. At the very least, Lung Yu hadn't split yet. Congratulations, Host. Host has killed the frost black dragon formed by a special energy body, triggering a special reward mechanism with a low probability of dropping a purple treasure chest. Shua, a purple gold light that only Lin Shun could see soared into the sky and floated inside the stone wall. Lin Shun rushed in again and grabbed the purple gold treasure chest. Host has opened the purple gold treasure chest. Obtained. Green top-grade alchemy seal, 3 pure spiritual water seal. Peak blue rank alchemy hand seal. Lin Chen's jaw dropped. This time, he had really picked up a F*King treasure. The number of low-grade blue rank alchemy hand seals in the 24 domains could be counted with one hand. Even in the spiritual state, Blue rank alchemy hand seals were extremely rare because there were as many powerful people as there were clouds in the sky. Alchemy hand seals that could support the growth of alchemists were needed more than anywhere else. Ha 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 ha. Awesome. This is so King awesome. I really want to do it again. Linshan couldn't help but laugh wildly at the sky. His laughter shook the surroundings and spread outside the pagoda. The Lungyu branch family members, who had just caught their breaths, heard this loud laughter and felt their hair stand on end, their teeth chattering. Crazy, crazy, crazy. He must be crazy. How could he be so happy after stabbing a beast in that area? The most terrifying thing was that he wanted to do it again. This Linshan was more than just crazy. He was simply a perverted chrysanthemum maniac. I suddenly don't want to mess with this kid. Me too. I don't know why, but I have a trace of sympathy for Long Dao. If this kid wants to take revenge on Long Dao, that would be awesome. Oh my god, this is too scary. I want to go home. Thousand Moon Pagoda's 4th floor. Host has received 30,000 water energy points, 50,000 water energy points. Lin Shun swept the fallen leaves and collected all the water attribute light balls scattered on the 4th floor. At this time, his water energy points had reached an unprecedented 24 million. Lin Shun wasn't arrogant. Although the Frost Black Dragon had reached the initial stage of Heaven Star Border Stage 5, it wasn't a real creature after all. Its overall strength was still slightly lacking. Lung Yueqi landed beside Lin Shun. Her jade eyes flickered as she spoke softly. Lin Shun, thank you. Lin Shun was taken aback for a moment before he nodded solemnly. Teacher, have you finally noticed my handsomeness and fallen in love with me? Oh my god, don't freeze your legs. Let's talk nicely. After resting for a while, the two officially went to the 5th floor. When they reached the end of the spiral staircase, the balance beneath their feet lost their sense of reality. Space shifted, and they arrived at a quiet space. This place was no longer filled with snow and ice. Instead, it was in the middle of a vast plain. Who would have thought that a human would step into this place after 1,000 years? I wonder if you're more outstanding than the last human. 2 human figures floated in the air. Their silver hair fluttered in the wind. One of them was male, and the other was female. Their bodies were clear and bright, and there was an ice attribute light, rings spinning above their heads. I don't know if I'm outstanding or not, but I'm sure you're more handsome than the last one. Lin Shin chuckled as a trace of seriousness flashed across his eyes. The strength of these 2 tower spirits was on a completely different level from the Frost Black Dragon. One was in the initial stage of Heaven Star Border Stage 5, and the other was in the middle stage of Heaven Star Border Stage 5. Lin Shan was only in the late stage of Heaven Star Border Stage 2, while Lung Yueqi was in the middle stage of Heaven Star Border Stage 2. But compared to the 2 tower spirits, there was still a huge gap. Now it's time to test my maximum combat power. I wonder if I can defeat these 2 without using the Ancient Azure Dragon. Lin Shan was eager to try. He activated his fire attribute bloodline and stomped on the ground, causing the Earth's crust to shake. As the Earth's crust shook, dozens of red flame pillars shot up into the sky and crashed into the 2 tower spirits. Is that all? Break. The middle stage Heaven Star Border Stage 5 silver-haired lady shook her head in disappointment. She pointed her finger at the air, and the flame pillars shattered into pieces. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the blink of an eye, over 100 ice star arrows bloomed like ice flowers, shooting from all directions. Everywhere they passed, the space was frozen with faint frost. Roar! The silver-haired male tower spirit opened his mouth and let out a ferocious roar. His roar could shatter the mountains and rivers. The roar shattered all the ice arrows and turned them into ice mist that filled the air. Such terrifying strength shocked all the prodigies of the Lung Yu branch family. Chapter 225. The ice mark between her eyebrows appeared, and Lung Yueqi's aura soared to the middle of the 3rd layer of the heavenly Dipper realm. She rode the wind and shot out several palms against the wind. The frost giant palm that froze hundreds of feet of space was shot out. Father, mother, I will engrave your names in tombstones in the branch family. Her green eyes flashed with an unwavering will. The moment Lung Yuechi's palm slapped out, she immediately pulled her ice bow and aimed at the male tower spirit. The battle between the two sides was about to start. Kaka! The space suddenly distorted above the silver-haired woman's head. Lightning flashed and a faint wind swirled. Her expression suddenly changed. When she looked up, she saw Lin Chun holding the Dark Abyss spear. The rolling dark battle chi condensed at the tip of the spear. Charging rune, Dark Devour. Lin Chun suddenly shouted. He held the spear with both hands and stabbed forward like a dragon. Oomph! The silver-haired woman disdainfully snorted. The space above her suddenly distorted and trembled, becoming especially solid. Clang! The spear condensed with dark battle chi and 45 dragon power was intercepted. The tip of the Dark Abyss spear was stopped less than a foot away from the silver-haired woman. The solid void was like an invisible wall that blocked Lin Chun and his Dark Abyss spear. Your speed is passable, but your attack power is not enough. The tower spirit waved his sleeves. The reversed heaven and earth spiritual energy converged into a blue energy finger with starlight shining in all directions. The moment the energy finger converged, it aimed at Lin Chun. The momentum was so majestic that the entire battlefield began to tremble slightly. Whoosh! At the critical moment, a purple flame rose from Lin Chun's back. The energy finger didn't even touch his afterimage and crashed into the plains, exploding into a shocking mushroom cloud. What? The female tower spirit's expression changed slightly. His speed could actually transform to such a fast speed. Lin Chen's speed even made the elders of the branch family, who were watching the battle, change their expressions. Lin Chen's figure strangely appeared behind the female tower spirit. He raised his palm and aimed at the full mountain range and slapped. Huh! The crisp sound made the female tower spirit blush. Her expression was no longer as transcendent as before. She angrily flicked her sleeves and pressed her palm against the void behind her. Bang! Her palm exploded the void, but it didn't hit Lin Chun at all. In the void, lightning and red flames swirled and formed a ball. The dazzling light battle chi covered the spear tip. The female pagoda spirit's expression changed. As she turned around, a grayish-white talisman fell from the skies. Slowing rune. The moment she saw the rune, the female tower spirit's figure was frozen in the void. In that instant, Lin Chen's arm condensed a pure strength that could move mountains and fill seas. He clenched his teeth and threw out the entire spear. The moment he angrily threw the abyssal spear, the tail of the spear exploded with violent thunder and fire energy, increasing the force of the spear's flight by several times. The entire abyssal spear shot out like a rocket, and as it swept through the void, it shattered a space crystal wall. Bang! The tide-like energy shattered the slowing rune. The female tower spirit was about to retreat, but the Dark Abyss spear was terrifyingly fast. It passed by in an instant. It pierced through the female tower spirit's head. Boom! The Dark Abyss spear landed on the plains, blowing up the ground and tearing the earth vein in half. The tower spirit's weakness is its strongest defense. You let me attack your head so easily without any intention of dodging. You expose your own weakness. The purple phoenix wings flapped slowly. Lin Chen floated in the air, a smile on his face. Your greatest strength is that you have intelligence, but it is also your greatest weakness. If you were a vicious beast without intelligence, I might have to spend more effort. After the female tower spirit's head was pierced, she reformed into a human form, but she no longer had the killing intent from before. How did you know the tower spirit's weakness? After the female tower spirit reformed, she stared at Lin Chun. Host has triggered a special reward mechanism. You have received a purple treasure chest. A purple gold treasure chest appeared where the female pagoda spirit had been. Lin Chen's heartbeat quickened. Another special reward. This treasure chest reward might not be inferior to the top blue rank alchemy handprint from before. Ignoring the female tower spirit's question, Lin Chen's figure flashed and grabbed the purple treasure chest in the air above her head. Host has opened the purple treasure chest. You have received a low-level blue rank battle skill, Heavenly Freezing Finger. Lin Chen's expression suddenly changed. Blue rank. This was the first time Lin Chen had received a blue rank battle skill. He didn't expect to receive such a godly skill from triggering a special reward mechanism. Whether it was the reward mechanism or the attribute light balls and treasure chests that dropped, the system's judgment was completely random. Some of the treasure chests and attribute light balls might be directly or indirectly related to the target they dropped from. Some of them might not be related at all. If the opponent that Lin Chen killed was practicing a green high-level sword technique, then the treasure chest that the opponent dropped could contain the technique that he was practicing. It could also contain a sword technique that was a level higher than the one that Lin Chen killed. The combat power of a blue rank battle skill is not to be underestimated. If I can successfully practice it, it will bring an unprecedented increase to my combat power. I'll keep it first and practice it later. After the system recorded the Heavenly Freezing Finger, Lin Chen turned to look at the female tower spirit, shrugged, and smiled casually. You asked me how I could see the tower spirit's weakness? My intelligence is proportional to my looks. Of course I guessed it. The space of the Thousand Moon Tower was connected to the outside world. He wasn't stupid enough to tell her what Lung Yin told him. So you guessed it. You are indeed much more outstanding than the previous person who entered the tower. Although you use some dirty tricks, I am indeed no match for you. It's only a matter of time before I lose. The female tower spirit shook her head and sighed. After experiencing Lin Chen's slowing rune, although she didn't know how he did it, she knew that this young man was definitely superior to her. Outside the tower, many of the Lung family's prodigies looked solemn and even fearful. He hid it too well. This Lin Chen from the Heavenly Song Academy actually hid so many trump cards. There was also that spear-throwing technique of his. Before throwing, he condensed the energy at the end of the spear to increase its power by several times. This kind of combat method was simply unheard of. It was full of unlimited imagination and possibilities. Especially at the last moment, the tower spirit was inexplicably frozen for a moment. Even the higher-ups and elders didn't see what was going on. Elder's secret chamber. This kid's foundation is still hidden. His pair of wings seems to be the wings of an ancient species, the true flame purple phoenix. With his speed, there should be few opponents within the Heaven Star Border Stage 5. Ha! He trapped all of us. That mysterious move of his that froze the pagoda spirit in place is even more unbelievable. Moreover, that last Lung Yueqi is not bad either. To be able to fight with a Heaven Star Border Stage 5 for so long, they are a perfect match. Ha! Chapter 226. This lass has also proven herself. We should give her parents a proper status. I hope the other elders won't be too prejudiced against her parents. There's no need to offend such a genius because of the past. While the elders were chatting happily, Lin Chen had already cooperated with Lung Yueqi to kill the second pagoda spirit. On the 5th floor of the Thousand Moon Pagoda, bright moonlight shone down. Lin Chen and Lung Yueqi worked together to kill the male pagoda spirit. Both of them disappeared in a flash. The two of them had passed the 5th floor. Looks like the 5th floor isn't that difficult after all. Lin Chen chuckled, only to find that Lung Yueqi's shoulders were trembling slightly. There were tears in her eyes. Teacher Yueqi, you've already done it. There's no need to feel pressured anymore. Lin Chen held Lung Yueqi's hand. The latter wiped the tears from the corner of her eyes and looked at Lin Chen solemnly. Lin Chen, if you say thank you again, you'll be too polite. Didn't we agree that if I dare to come and find you again, we'll continue what we did underground? Lin Chen chuckled mischievously as he raised his eyebrows and teased. Sure, if you have the guts. Lung Yueqi smiled sweetly. and a faint blush spread across her ears. We're done. It's time to go out. Lung Yuechi and Lin Shin smiled at each other and took out a spatial jade slip. She crushed the jade slip and a spatial vortex appeared. Lin Shin, let's go. Yeah. Lin Shan gently pushed Lung Yuechi into the spatial vortex, and her beautiful figure disappeared. Lin Shan was alone in the Thousand Moon Pagoda. What? He pushed Lung Yuechi out and stayed in the Thousand Moon Pagoda alone. Everyone outside the pagoda exclaimed. Lung Yuechi's beautiful figure appeared at the entrance of the first floor. Lin Shin, what are you doing? Lung Yuechi's expression changed slightly as she shouted at the demonic eye stone in the void. Unfortunately, the demonic eye stone couldn't connect the sound of the two spaces, so Lin Shin couldn't hear it. Seeing that Lin Shan was alone in the pagoda, the expression of the elder in the secret room became completely serious. This Lin Shin dared to stay in the pagoda by himself. Didn't this mean that he still wanted to challenge higher levels? This person is either a spy sent from the outside and wants to sneak into our Lung clan's Thousand Moon Tower with evil intentions, or his strength has yet to reach its limit. An elder's eyes lit up as he focused on the situation inside the demon eye stone. Lin Shin sat cross-legged in the air and opened the system. System, I want to practice Frozen Sky Finger. System notification. Host, to cultivate Frozen Sky Finger, you need 6 million cultivation soul essences. Does the host confirm to cultivate? Confirm. System has deducted 6 million cultivation soul essences. Currently transferring Frozen Sky Finger to the host. A beam of light suddenly flashed from the void and entered the top of Lin Shen's head. A large amount of inheritance memories appeared. Seeing that Lin Shen was actually still on the 5th level, more and more people from the Lung Yu branch family came over to watch. This time, the inheritance process was unexpectedly fast. Lin Shen opened his eyes in just 15 minutes. What a domineering blue-tier battle skill. Lin Shen was both amazed and excited. This Frozen Sky Finger was different from the techniques that Lin Shen had practiced before. It only had one finger. With one finger, mountains and rivers would be frozen for 1,000 miles. Condensing water or ice battle chi throughout the body and releasing it through specific meridians and circulation methods. Wherever the fingertip pointed, ice would be frozen for 1,000 miles. System-friendly reminder. Because the host has practiced too many battle skills, the level 2 charging rune is too low. If the host uses the charging rune on the blue tier battle skill, the power can only be doubled at most. The system's reminder made Lin Shen's mouth twitch. It seemed that the level of the characteristic rune had to be increased by another wave. With a leap, Lin Shen rushed up the spiral staircase of the 6th level and officially entered the 6th level. The 6th level of Qian Yu was completely silent. This place was a mountain range that rose and fell continuously. Every mountain peak was emitting a sharp and cold sword aura. In the middle of the mountains, on the highest peak, between the cliffs, sat a white-clothed figure. He stood with his sword in his arms and his eyes closed. Although the 3-foot-long sword was not unsheathed, it attracted the sword aura of all the peaks. This person's strength was unfathomable. At first glance, Lin Shen felt an unprecedented sense of oppression. Oh, there's actually someone who can make it here. You at the late stage of Heaven Dipper Realm? Then it seems that I can only use the peak of Heaven Dipper Realm. Clang! The white-clothed man unsheathed his sword and stood up slowly. He held the sword in his hand and stared at Lin Shen with his sharp eyes. Lin Shen floated in the air and asked curiously, "You're the pagoda spirit here?" "No, you're more like a human. You're more complete than the pagoda spirit." The white-clothed man revealed a look of reminiscence. There was a hint of confusion. "I'm indeed a human, but I'm a dead man. I seem to have lost to someone and became a living being in this pagoda. I can't remember what happened in the past. Come, young man, you're able to make it here. It's enough to prove your strength. Give me and my sword some stimulation." Boom! The sword aura stirred up the wind and clouds, cutting through heaven and earth. The light in the space of 1,000 feet dimmed because of the white-clothed man's sword. The white-clothed man stabbed out with his sword. Even ghosts and gods would be destroyed. Charging rune, light's fury. Dark devour. The two strongest energy bloodlines immediately transformed. Lin Shen slapped out with both his palms. The light energy ball and dark energy will flew out. They couldn't even touch the white-clothed man's clothes and were crushed into nothingness by the blood-like sword aura. Lin Shen suddenly held his spear. The black abyss flashed and thunder exploded like a dragon. The tip of the spear and the blood-like sword aura clashed together. Bang! The peaks of the four mountains were shattered into pieces. Lin Shen was sent flying several thousand meters away. He had to take several steps in the air before he could stabilize himself. His blood and chi were in turmoil. What a powerful swordsman! His swordsmanship is extraordinary. Man and sword is one. One strike with all his strength. There's no room for retreat. He shook his slightly numb arm. This person's combat power was comparable to the peak of Heaven Dipper Realm Stage 5. In a head-on battle, Lin Shen might have to release the ancient Azure Dragon to fight against him. Spear user? Ha ha ha. Awesome again. The white-clothed swordsman laughed heartily. His sword aura soared into the sky and swallowed the sun, moon, and stars. He held the sword with 5 fingers. The sword edge swung out a vast and deep sword aura. The sword aura rotated 360 degrees at an extreme speed. Everything in its path was destroyed. The wind blew, and Lin Shen's short hair was blown into a mess. In his body, the strong water energy bloodline flowed through dozens of specific meridian routes. Biting cold, frost rose. Lin Shen activated the special water bloodline. His right arm became blue and translucent. It was magnificent and dazzling. He raised his hand and pointed out. Host activated the level 2 charging rune. 300,000 rune energy points are consumed. Icy Sky Finger. Chapter 227. After battling on the 5th floor, Lin Shen's water-type attribute had exceeded 30 million points. Water-type battle aura had become Lin Shen's strongest attribute battle aura. The icy finger pierced through the air like a beam of light. The biting cold air froze the surrounding space, and even the spiritual energy of the 4 elements was frozen into frost flowers that floated down. In the 6th floor's battle space, dozens of mountains were frozen in an instant. The temperature was so cold that every spectator felt a lingering fear in their hearts. A finger could change the weather and freeze 1,000 miles. A blue rank battle technique, turning something rotten into something magical. The flying sword was frozen into ice crystals by the cold air. The moment the ice broke, the sword aura turned into starlight that scattered across the sky. Streaks of icy energy pierced through the sword aura and went straight for the white-robed swordsman. He raised his sword to block. The icy energy vibrated on the blade, and streaks of corrosive runic energy and icy aura penetrated his body. What kind of battle technique is this? Oh my god, freezing 15 mountains with one finger? Could be a blue rank battle technique? It's definitely a blue rank battle technique, and he's using it to perfection. There's not a single flaw. The prodigies outside the tower and the elders in the secret chamber gasped. A blue rank battle technique was extremely difficult to master. How did this kid master it so easily? How old is he? Whoosh! As the purple phoenix wings flapped, Lin Shen stepped on a green tornado and swept past the rolling purple flames. The abyss spear was aimed at the white-robed swordsman's head. Clang! He raised his sword to block. The spear and sword clashed, and sparks flew everywhere. The abyss spear spun rapidly and stabbed at his shoulder. It was deflected by the spinning sword, and Lin Shen stabbed back. He held the spear tightly with both hands and blocked the attack. The tip of the spear followed the blade and stabbed forward. Lin Shen's close combat attack speed was extremely fast. The white-clothed swordsman was caught off guard. He and his sword retreated in the air. His sword was like a swimming dragon. The tip of his spear cut towards Lin Chen's legs. Clang! The tip of the sword slashed at Lin Chen's calf, but it produced the sound of metal colliding. A faint golden brilliance rotated. This was Lin Chen's heavenly dipper battle chi. The end of the spear smashed downwards and collided with the tip of the sword. Circulating his energy, Lin Chen once again erupted with a terrifying power. He waved his spear and angrily raised it up, his aura sweeping through the mountains and rivers. A sword and a spear were madly colliding and entangling in close combat. The degree of intensity could be said to be hair-raising. As the two of them attacked, every move was filled with killing intent. They went straight for each other's vital points, leaving no room for maneuver. But what makes the high-level elder unable to understand is that with Lin Chen's battle chi cultivation base and pure strength combination, it is difficult to resist the close-range attack of the Heavenly Dipper Realm 5th layer peak. How did he do it under the other party's offensive for so long? What's going on? Not only does his ice battle chi have the effect of freezing the meridians, but even his battle chi attack and close-range attack have a kind of invading my body, corroding my cultivation base. The white-clothed swordsman's eyes were filled with astonishment. He had finally forced out the remaining cold air from Lin Chen's frozen sky finger. But now Lin Chen's attack was continuously corroding his cultivation base. Almost every 5 spear attacks Lin Chen made, there would be a spear with the corrosive rune effect. He wanted to use the corrosive rune effect to continuously suppress the other party, so that the other party would not have the strength to fight back. Relying on the corrosive rune and the purple phoenix wings, plus the extreme speed of the wind attribute bloodline, Lin Chen forcibly relied on his own strength to fight the white-clothed swordsman in close combat. When Lin Chen and the two sides had fought for nearly 400 rounds, the white-clothed swordsman suddenly exerted force. The tip of his sword was like a dragon soaring through the sky, and Lin Chen's black abyss spear was sent flying. After the sword was sent flying, the white-clothed swordsman's sword aura relaxed slightly, and it was not as sharp as before. Under the interference of the corrosive rune, his sword aura was slightly weakened. In a battle between experts, what mattered was the difference of a single line. Slow rune. After losing the black abyss spear, Lin Chen did not panic like the white-clothed swordsman had expected. Instead, he used 5 million points of rune energy and used all his strength to cast a slow rune. The slow rune flashed and disappeared, causing the white-clothed swordsman's movements to become incomparably slow, but it could only last for an instant. Frozen Sky Finger. In this instant, Lin Chen activated the Frozen Sky Finger at full speed and suddenly pointed it out at close range. Chi-Chi. A terrifying icy light beam pierced through the white-clothed swordsman's body, freezing his entire body. 9 elemental battle, Chi bloodline transformation. Die for me. Lin Chen's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. He released a multicolored battle, Chi glow at full speed, and the wind from his fist was tyrannical as he violently punched the white-clothed swordsman's body. The next scene caused the people of the Cold Moon Branch family outside the tower to feel their scalps go numb. Pung pung pung. The white-clothed swordsman's figure fell to the bottom of the mountain. Lin Chen chased after him and attacked fiercely. His fists, elbows, and knees were all close-range killing weapons. Lin Chen's every attack exploded with 45 points of dragon power and attribute battle chi. He violently attacked from the sky all the way to the ground. The white-clothed swordsman was hit by Lin Chen's Frozen Sky Finger at close range. His entire body was frozen, and he could not even circulate his battle chi. Pung! After withstanding nearly 100 punches from Lin Chen, the white-clothed swordsman was beaten to the point of exploding. He turned into a cloud of white smoke and dissipated. Host has triggered a special reward system. A black gold treasure chest has been dropped. Just when Lin Chen was panting, the system screen popped up, making him feel refreshed. He saw a pillar of light that only he could see blooming in the air. A black gold treasure chest was floating in the air. It was Lin Chen's first time seeing a black gold treasure chest. He tiptoed and flew into the sky, grabbing the black gold treasure chest. Host has received a black gold treasure chest. Opening the treasure chest, Host has received Attribute Rune Evolution Stone 1. Attribute Rune Evolution Stone. This was a treasure that could upgrade the attribute rune. Damn it, it's finally out. Lin Chen's blood was boiling. He could finally upgrade the attribute rune. Following the increase in Lin Chen's strength, the opponents he faced were also getting stronger. The level 2 attribute rune could only provide him with some support. It was no longer like before when it was his strongest trump card. But now his strongest trump card, the attribute rune, was about to return. System, I want to use the attribute rune evolution stone to evolve the slow rune. Lin Chen excitedly ordered the system. This was the attribute rune that Lin Chen had received from the beginning. It had always been the most useful attribute rune. Attribute Rune Evolution Stone has been used to upgrade the slow rune. The slow rune has reached level 3. Level 3? What a wonderful level. When I first met this level, Brother Chun was still a pure primary school student. I didn't think that the first human to enter the 6th floor would be able to defeat me. Go ahead, young man. Looking at your expression, you still want to climb to a higher level. The white-clothed swordsman's voice echoed in the 6th floor. Lin Chen was interested. He was actually the first one. With the level 3 slow rune, Lin Chen was full of confidence. He rushed up the spiral staircase. Suddenly, he took out a large pen and carved 2 big words on the wall of the spiral staircase. Elder's Secret Chamber. When all the elders were still silent about the fact that Lin Chen had passed the 6th floor, another elder immediately exclaimed, "Something's not right. Look, what is he doing? He's actually writing on the wall of the 6th floor? What did he write? He wrote a sofa? Sofa?" Chapter 228. Outside the Thousand Moon Tower, more than 200,000 Lung Yu branch family members were watching. When Lin Chen reached the 7th floor, they were completely stunned. He defeated the white-robed swordsman who was at the peak of Heaven's Star Border Stage 5. Oh my god, he's still going up? Does he have the confidence to defeat the 7th floor spirit? The 7th floor should be at least Heaven's Star Border Stage 6, right? A Heaven Star Border Stage 2 against a Heaven Star Border Stage 6? Ridiculous. How is this possible? This brat is courting death. While the crowd was still debating how long Lin Chen could last on the 7th floor, some of the Lung Yu branch family's prodigies were feeling dejected. Regardless of whether Lin Chen could reach the 7th floor, it was a fact that he had reached the 6th floor. Ever since their branch family's Thousand Moon Tower was built, no prodigy had been able to reach the 6th floor. But now an outsider had done it. After this battle, his momentum would suppress all of the Lung Yu branch family's prodigies. He would be like the sun in the sky, unstoppable. Lung Yu Chi covered her mouth. How long has it been? How much has this brat grown? What is he doing on the 7th floor? Look at his walking posture. F*CK. Even I want to beat him up. On the 7th floor of the Thousand Moon Tower, in the middle of a desert, a certain Lin's shoulders swayed greatly as he strode forward. He had a smug expression on his face and was extremely arrogant. With a level 3 characteristic rune in hand, Lin Chen was very arrogant. There is only one word to describe it: arrogance. Oh, I didn't expect that the first person to reach the 7th floor wasn't from the Lung clan. Has the Lung Yu clan declined? In the void, an old man's figure appeared like a ghost. He held a walking stick and shook his head while sighing. "Senior, it doesn't matter if I'm from the Lung clan or not. What's important is that I'm on good terms with the Lung clan. Isn't that enough?" Lin Chen smiled casually. The old man's eyes flashed as he stroked his beard and smiled. "Good brat, you have a glib tongue. You're at the late stage of Heaven Star Border Stage 2. If you reach the 7th floor, I can only use the strength of a Heaven Star Border Stage 6. Boom. Lin Chen narrowed his eyes. He was no stranger to this aura. When they left the Evil King's secret realm that day, the realm and cultivation by Royan had revealed had such a unique, oppressive feeling. The cultivation displayed by this old man was not at all inferior to Byron's. Heavenly Dipper Realm 6th layer is no small matter. It's time to take out my trump card. A green dragon shadow flashed across Lin Chen's eyes. Roar! An earth-shattering dragon's roar shook the heavens and the earth. Amidst the flashes of green light, an ancient azure dragon that was thousands of feet long appeared out of thin air. Its dragon might was vast and mighty, and its roar could shatter mountains and rivers. A primordial azure dragon with 130 dragon power was no weaker than the white-clothed assassin that Lin Chun had fought before. The ancient azure dragon opened its mouth and spat out a huge storm of dragon breath. Azure light danced chaotically and attacked the old man. At this moment, the expressions of the elders who were watching the battle in the secret chamber changed drastically. What is this? Dragon race? There's actually a dragon race hidden in this brat's body? He's a member of the dragon race? How'd he do it? Primordial azure dragon. This is a genuine primordial azure dragon. It's no weaker than a peak Heaven Star Border Stage 5 ancient azure dragon. Even the elders from the ancient family's branch families had never seen such a method. Hiding an ancient azure dragon in a human's body? Was this possible? Thousand Moon Pagoda's 7th floor. The old man with the walking stick pointed at the void. His figure swept across the void like a blade and easily dodged the ancient azure dragon's dragon breath. Rip! The afterimage slashed over like a knife, and the fist wind mixed with light element battle chi smashed over brazenly. Boom! The gray-robed old man raised his walking stick, and the space in front of him became extremely sturdy, blocking Lin Chen's fist wind. A peak Heaven Star Border Stage 5 ancient azure dragon and a brat like you. It's not enough to shake this old man. Heaven Star Border Stage 6 isn't as simple as you think. Just as the gray-robed old man was about to shake his head and laugh, Lin Chen's lips curled up slightly. Senior, have you heard the respect the elderly fist? Host activated the level 3 slow rune, consuming 5 million rune energy points. As soon as he finished speaking, the grayish-white rune flashed and shattered like a ghost, penetrating the gray-robed old man's spatial defense and burrowing into his body. What? The gray-robed old man's expression changed abruptly. His body and battle chi became incomparably slow. After being suppressed by the slow rune, the gray-robed old man's spatial defense instantly weakened by a few levels. Even the gap between the circulation of battle chi became incomparably slow. Charging rune, frozen sky finger. Lin Chen raised his hand and pointed at the void. The vast and biting cold ice battle chi instantly froze the entire void and penetrated the gray-robed old man's body. Ancient Azure Dragon, beat him up. Lin Chen suddenly shouted coldly. The ancient azure dragon raised its dragon claws and smashed wildly. Bang! 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 The overwhelming and violent dragon power crazily smashed onto the gray-robed old man's body. He used the battle chi that he could circulate and frantically mobilize spatial power to defend and resist. Moreover, he was trying his best to break down the suppression brought about by Lin Chen's slow rune. What kind of secret technique is this? I can't even feel the fluctuation of his battle chi before it burrowed into my body. The gray-robed old man was horrified. He used his walking stick to block the ancient azure dragon's bombardment. The celestial fighting soul in his dantian transmitted a turbulent battle chi that collided with the rune energy that wrapped around his body. Both consumed 5 million rune energy points. But the effect of the level 3 slow rune and the level 2 slow rune were more than 10 times different. If it was the level 2 slow rune, it might not even be able to delay him for half a breath's time. But now, he couldn't move for 3 breaths' time and couldn't circulate more than 80% of his battle chi. Frozen Sky Finger. Frozen Sky Finger. Cooperating with the ancient Azure Dragon's attack, Lin Shun consecutively launched 2 Frozen Sky Finger. The charging rune doubled the attack power. The blue star-like light penetrated the gray-robed old man and once again froze his battle chi that was about to break through the slow rune. Lin Chen's water-type battle chi evaporated by 3/4 in an instant. With his late-stage Heaven Dipper realm cultivation, the consumption of a low-grade blue rank battle skill was enormous. The purple phoenix wings suddenly flapped, and Lin Chen's figure quickly shifted behind the gray-robed old man. I don't care if you're Heaven Dipper Realm Stage 6 or Stage 7. Brother Chun, I'm going to fight my way up today. Lin Chen's eyes flashed with a terrifying battle intent. His left hand was dark, and his right hand was light. Both his hands formed into fists, and the momentum of his punches was like a violent storm. He and the ancient Azure Dragon formed a vertical encirclement and launched a frenzied barrage of attacks. Such a fierce attack not only shocked the Lung Yu branch family members outside the tower, but also the elders in the secret room. Suddenly, the expressions of 3 elders changed greatly. Chapter 229. I got it. It's him. He has an Azure Dragon with him. He's young and handsome. No wonder. He's the young man who wiped out all the heretical warriors on the Black Fog Island. As soon as these words were spoken, the expressions of all the elders present became extremely interesting. Combined with Lin Chen's strength, he was definitely qualified to wipe out all the heretical warriors on the Black Fog Island. It's him. His potential is top-notch even in the Lung Yu family. We must be on good terms with this kid. From now on, none of you are allowed to offend him. The 3 elders' mouths twitched when they looked at the demon Ice Stone again. This guy didn't look elegant when he beat up the Heaven Star Border Stage 6 Pagoda Spirit. However, this was probably the only person in the spiritual state who could carry an ancient Azure Dragon with him. On the 7th floor of the Chinua Tower. Damn it! Break for this old man. The gray-robed elder roared. His battle aura shattered the entangled rune energy like an angry dragon, and he finally broke free. Bam! Lin Chun punched the gray-robed elder and sent him flying with a knee strike. He had used up too much battle aura to break free from the slow rune and freezing sky fingers chill and defend against the ancient Azure Dragon's attack. Suddenly, the ancient Azure Dragon swung its claws down and slammed him into the ground. Its tail swept and slapped him wildly. The earth shook and the mountains shook. A sandstorm swept up millions of tons of sand in the desert. Light's fury, dark devour. Underground, Lin Chen's palm spun a light energy ball and a dark roulette. The 2 different battle auras exuded destructive energy waves as he slammed his palms into the gray-robed elder's back. Chi! The gray-robed elder couldn't withstand the fierce attacks from the man and the dragon. Even though he was a Heaven Star Border Stage 6 Pagoda Spirit, he disappeared into nothingness. The host has triggered a special reward mechanism. You've received 1 Azure Gold treasure chest. The moment the gray-robed elder disappeared, the system screen popped up. Lin Chun was overjoyed. He grabbed the Azurite treasure chest. When he opened it, he saw an exquisite and translucent crystal spinning inside. It contained the majestic energy of the starry skies. Host opened the black gold treasure chest and obtained Special Rune Evolution Stone 1. Another trait, Rune Evolution Stone. Lin Chun excitedly licked his lips and immediately issued an order to the system. System, I want to upgrade to level 3 recharge rune. System received. 1 characteristic rune fossil has been consumed to upgrade to level 3 charging rune. The energy charging rune could double one's attack power. This was extremely important to Lin Chun, who possessed a blue-tier combat skill. Even though the corrosive rune could corrode the opponent's battle chi and weaken the opponent's battle strength greatly, the premise was that Lin Chen's battle chi attack could touch the opponent. In comparison, the charging rune was more efficient than the corrosive rune when fighting against someone of a higher rank. If it was a group battle, the corrosion rune would have a miraculous effect. Damn it, you look so young, but you don't hold back at all. So ruthless. In the sky, the gray-robed elder cursed as he appeared. His gaze towards Lin Chun was filled with curiosity. Senior, please don't laugh at me. I only did it a little. Lin Chun chuckled. If he didn't go all out, he would be the one to suffer if the opponent was free. What a pity. After the 5th floor of the Thousand Moon Pagoda, there were no more attribute light balls to pick up. If he could defeat a Heaven Star Border Stage 6 powerhouse in the outside world, there would definitely be many attribute light balls that could increase his strength by a lot. You dare to fight and kill, so you must want to go up a level. However, I advise you not to go up to the 8th floor. This Thousand Moon Pagoda was designed in the branch family. In reality, there are only 8 floors. The 8th floor is equivalent to the highest floor. If you fail, you won't suffer any losses. However, I'm afraid that it will leave a serious psychological shadow. The gray-robed elder tried to persuade Lin Chun, but Lin Chun was stunned on the spot. He almost blurted it out without thinking. Since there's no loss, why should I be afraid? Isn't martial arts about going against the flow? If I retreat because I'm afraid of a strong opponent, wouldn't I be going against my own pursuit of strength? That's the psychological shadow. When the gray-robed elder heard Lin Chun's words, his eyes flashed with understanding. He looked deeply at Lin Chun and nodded with interest. Young man, you're a little different from those geniuses that I've seen. Of course I'm different. Lin Chun blinked and smiled coquettishly. They're not as handsome as me. The Lung Yu branch family members watched as Lin Chun took the elixir and sat cross-legged in the void for a while before entering the 8th floor of the Thousand Moon Pagoda. They stood there in shock. He actually wanted to go up to the 8th floor? It was said that none of the branch families had ever produced a genius who could reach the 8th floor. Since ancient times, only the main Lung Yu branch family had ever reached the 8th floor and above. He, Lin Chun, was the 5th. The legend of our Lung Yu family is actually being continued by an outsider. Lung Yin shook her head and smiled at Lung Yuechi beside her. Yuechi, you found a good partner. Lung Yuechi's heart rippled. Her green eyes were filled with tenderness and longing, as if she had thought of something. In terms of talent, he might not be the strongest, but it's undeniable that in terms of charisma, he's the best in the world. On the 8th floor of the Thousand Moon Pagoda, the moonlight was soft and pure. It hung high in the sky like a new moon. Lin Chun, who had reached the 8th floor, immediately released the ancient azure dragon. There's an attribute light ball there. Lin Chun's purple-gold eyes flashed with surprise. In the center of the moonlight, 100 miles away, there was an attribute light ball the size of an apple. Relying on the realm of his purple-gold eyes, Lin Chun could faintly see a scroll of jade slips spinning inside from a distance. However, Lin Chun did not dare to act rashly. The 6th floor spirit still had not appeared. I only have 3,900,000 rune energy left. I wonder if I can pass the last floor. Lin Chun stood on the ancient azure dragon's head. The man and dragon were fully alert. Lin Chun used his purple gold eyes to scan his surroundings. Suddenly, his pupils trembled. Behind him, a beautiful figure floated down. She was less than 3 meters away from Lin Chun. If they were to fight at this distance, Lin Chun would definitely lose. He wouldn't even have the chance to dodge. You're not from the Lung family. Her clear and melodious voice didn't seem to contain a trace of emotion, and a wisp of spiritual fluctuation immediately surged out. Oh no, it's a mental attack. Am I going to lose? Chapter 230. The sudden spiritual fluctuation made Lin Chun have nowhere to escape. Just as the idea arose in his mind, the spiritual shock rushed into his spiritual sea. Even Lin Chun's spiritual power that was close to the middle stage of the spirit transformation realm was crushed by this powerful spiritual will. The realm was almost at the late stage of the spirit transformation realm. At the critical moment, The glazed spiritual light suddenly enveloped Lin Chen's whole body and wrapped the spiritual will that sneak attack. A soft, silky satin rotated on top of Lin Chen's head. It was his spiritual treasure, limitless illusion. After the limitless illusion wrapped that wisp of spiritual will, there was a sound of surprise in the void. A strong aura shrouded the surroundings. The beautiful figure that launched the attack was actually at the late stage of the heavenly Dipper realm. What a miraculous artifact to be able to devour my spirit and will. It was this moment. Lin Chen's trump card was all played in an instant. Host activated the level 3 slow rune, consuming 3 million runes energy. The gray talisman fell from the sky and reflected in Ling Long's delicate body. Twice the rune's energy. Compared to the first time he used a level 3 slow rune, Lin Chen used twice the rune's energy this time. He didn't hold back at all. Host activated the level 3 recharge rune, consuming 400,000 runes energy. The 9 energy bloodlines in his body transformed. Lin Chen attacked in a flash. Icy sky finger light fury. Flame extinguishing thunder explosion. The moment Lin Chen spread the purple phoenix wings to open up the distance, a torrent-like attack was launched in an instant. Even the primordial Azure Dragon's reaction was extremely fast. With a turn of its body, it launched an Azure Dragon Tail Whip that could crush a star meteor. Bang! Rumble! A heaven-smelling energy storm raged. Lin Chen and the ancient Azure Dragon, one on the left and one on the right, flanked the center of the energy storm. What a magical move. It can actually seal more than 60% of the battle chi that I can use now. The storm passed away, and a beautiful figure floated in the void. She was wearing a snow-white dress. Her eyebrows were like snow. Her eyes were like red phoenix. Her nose was like snow. Her skin was like cream, and her waist was like a graceful swan. The charm between her eyebrows was somewhat like Lung Yuechi. There was nobility and elegance in her coldness. Lin Chen activated the purple gold pupil and found that she was unharmed under his and the ancient Azure Dragon's attack just now. But the only difference was that her cultivation dropped. In the beginning, Lin Chen sensed an aura that was several times stronger than the gray-robed old man. Now, this woman was even weaker than the gray-robed old man he had encountered earlier. She divided her battle chi into several parts. My sluggish rune can only slow down 60% of her battle chi. There's still a portion that I can use. Lin Chen immediately understood after seeing the situation of his opponent's battle chi with his purple gold pupil. This woman in white didn't have all her battle chi sealed by his limitless rune like other experts. Only a part of it was sealed. The higher the level of an expert, the more methods and foundations they had to deal with emergencies. This was accumulated over many years. It seems like it will take some time to unlock it, but it's enough to deal with you. Could it be that I've been asleep for too long? How can martial artists nowadays have such a magical secret technique? The woman in white sized up Lin Chen with interest. He gritted his teeth. He didn't have much rune energy left. It was impossible for him to activate the 3 million points limitless rune again. He had to determine the winner before his opponent broke through the limitless rune and recovered all her strength. With a thought from Lin Chen, the ancient Azure Dragon immediately launched a fierce attack. The dragon claw slashed down and tore the void. The woman's lithe figure turned around leisurely and dodged 10 miles away. Rumble. The dragon's tail swept as if it had predicted the woman's position in advance. 130 points of dragon power gathered on the attack. With her cultivation temporarily sealed, the woman had no chance to dodge. She tapped the void with her jade-like fingers, and a thin net wrapped around the ancient Azure Dragon's tail. Following that, her delicate hand struck out, and a ferocious battle aura surged from her palm. It was as if 10,000 stars had been shot out at the same time, pushing back the galaxy and forcing the ancient Azure Dragon to retreat. Lin Chen's spear was like a dragon. The dark abyss spear in his hand was like an expanding storm. Each wave of attacks was fiercer than the last. Clang! Before they could exchange more than 10 blows, Lin Chen's Dark Abyss spear was sent flying. Then a wave of spiritual shock came crashing down. Her battle chi cultivation was restricted by the limitless rune, but her spiritual realm was still as strong as before. Chi. When the spiritual shock was less than 10 meters away from Lin Chun, his illusory, limitless forest shone with a strange light and absorbed it. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Lin Chun retreated more than 10 steps in the void. He flapped his purple phoenix wings and immediately distanced himself from his opponent. Azure Dragon's soul, splitting claw. The dragon's roar shook the sky. The ancient Azure Dragon's body twisted and turned in the void. Its 4 dragon claws danced wildly, tearing out a sky full of Azure Dragon's breath light blades. It was as if the sun and moon were dancing in the sky. The power of this move was so strong that even the white-clothed woman frowned slightly. She activated her battle chi and froze the space for defense. Clang, clang, clang. The sound of metal colliding rang out. The Azure Dragon's breath light blades intensified the attack once again. Even the white-clothed woman's expression changed slightly. The ancient Azure Dragon had released the Azure Dragon Soul, splitting claw twice in a row. With its current foundation, although it could release it twice in a row, it would quickly lose a large part of its combat ability. The energy storm dispersed. The white-clothed woman used almost all of her remaining battle chi to block the ancient Azure Dragon's full-force attack. Now is the time. No matter how strong you are, you're still a woman. I, Brother Chun, have never been afraid of a beauty. Lin Chen's lips curled into a coquettish smirk. He suddenly spread his purple phoenix wings and flashed to the white-clothed woman's side. His dazzling golden fist smashed down furiously. The white-clothed woman's slender finger pointed to the void. She gritted her teeth. The spiritual attack that she was most proud of was actually useless against Lin Chun. She could only forcefully block it with her battle chi and delay it until she broke through the slowing rune. Unexpectedly, Lin Chen's punch was actually a feint. He turned around and arrived 2 meters below the woman. Then he raised his hands furiously. Lin Chun had 45 dragon power points. A casual slap from him could create a terrifying storm. His move actually lifted the woman's white dress. What? You lecher! The white-clothed woman flew into a rage out of humiliation, and her ears turned red. As she did not have enough battle chi, she was already at the end of her rope. In addition, it was unexpected. The woman did not have time to defend against Lin Chen's sinister move. Boom! His purple phoenix wings flapped faster. Lin Chun flashed again and released another freezing sky finger. Then, he threw 3 consecutive punches, forcing the woman to use her battle chi to forcefully defend herself. Another flash. While the opponent's battle chi was focused on defending the upper half of her body, Lin Chun raised his hand again. Her dress was lifted again. The 200,000 members of the Cold Moon Branch family outside the tower saw it clearly through the demonized stone. Instantly, they exclaimed, F***CK. How can he do such a thing that corrupts the morals of the secular world and leads the young people astray? Why is he so coquettish? Chapter 231. What? It's safety pants? F***CK. Safety pants are meant to protect against villains like you. I didn't expect them to protect a gentleman like me. Then, a handsome man who was lying on the ground was about to get up. F***CK. Isn't this guy the king of single players in the spiritual state? He's already lying on the ground and peeking. He's a gentleman? Beat him up. Don't hit my face. Damn it, thousands of people are lying on the ground, and you only hit me. You're just jealous of my handsome face. On the 8th floor of the Thousand Moon Tower, Lin Chen's ferocious attacks, coupled with his shameless flipping of her skirt, caused the woman in white to panic. The battle changed rapidly. The woman in white couldn't hold on long enough to break through the restriction of the slowing rune and was defeated by Lin Chen's Dark Devour. This time, after Lin Chun defeated her, he excitedly looked around. He did not trigger any special reward system, not to mention a treasure chest. He did not even get a hair. If I'm still alive, I'll cut you into 1,000 pieces. Oomph. The woman's murderous snort echoed in Lin Chen's ears, causing him to tremble in fear. Ahem, pretty big sister, I had no other choice. You're so strong. I wouldn't be your match if I didn't use some tricks, right? Lin Chen turned around and looked at the woman in white, scratching his head and smiling awkwardly. This woman's true cultivation was unfathomable, and he didn't dare to offend her. Fine, according to the rules, you've passed the 8th floor, so I should give you the thing that person left behind. It doesn't matter if you're from the Lung family or not. The woman in white waved her hand, and a pure white ball of light floated up. She handed it to Lin Chun and then glared at him before disappearing. Lin Chun took the white ball of light and placed it on his palm. He found that his mind energy couldn't penetrate the white ball of light. System notification: this spirit inheritance is only effective for people with a certain bloodline. The host doesn't meet the requirements to receive the inheritance, so the inheritance cannot be obtained. The system screen popped up. Lin Chen immediately understood that this spiritual inheritance was left for the Lung Yu clan's descendants. It looks like I can give this to teacher Yuechi. The inheritance of the Cold Moon clan's ancestor should not be too bad. Lin Chen put away the spiritual inheritance ball of light and spread out his purple phoenix wings. He rushed to the center where the moonlight was the brightest. Lin Chen grabbed the attribute ball floating in the center of the moonlight and turned it into a jade scroll. He stored it in between his eyebrows, and the system screen popped out. The host has obtained a fragment of the ancient secret manual, Azura's 9 brilliant transformations. Azura 9 brilliance technique, no ranks. Burning one's battle chi and extremely fast speed in exchange for a temporary increase in cultivation level. The stronger the mental cultivation method, the stronger the effect. However, the burden it brought was equally heavy. If the user's body has not been tempered thousands of times, the user is prohibited from using this secret manual. For the first time, this Azura body transformation art had caused Lin Chen to reveal a degree of fear towards a battle skill manual. This was using special meridians and techniques to ignite all of one's battle chi. One had to know that he, Lin Chen, had cultivated the 9 calamities of creation and possessed 9 types of battle chi. What kind of scene would it be to ignite 9 types of battle chi at the same time? At the very least, Lin Chen believed that the current him would definitely not be able to withstand it. He would instantly explode from the rapidly expanding energy and die. This Azura's 9 brilliance technique is only a fragment and can only cause 3 changes. What a pity! I don't know if I'll be able to collect the complete version in my lifetime. Although he was afraid, Lin Chen still wanted to see how strong this 9 brilliance technique was. It was like knowing that he would suddenly be able to see something he had never imagined before in his lifetime. It was a kind of anticipation. This might be the 3rd unranked technique I've obtained after the 9 calamities of creation and the Genesis Holy Scripture. Right now, I have too few technique essences. If I have the chance, I'll immediately cultivate it to completion. Lin Chen's consciousness left the system and returned to reality. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly turned to look at the unknown top of the tower, which had no spiral staircase. With Lin Chen's purple gold eyes, he could see that the top of the 1,000 Moon Tower seemed to be connected to some sort of destiny between heaven and earth. It was a kind of destiny that Lin Chen had never seen before. Since I'm a first handsome guy to reach the top of the 1,000 Moon Tower, I should leave something behind before I leave. Lin Chen retracted his gaze and excitedly took out his large brush. Then on the highest wall of the 8th floor, the tip of the pen moved around and started to write. Outside the 1,000 Moon Tower, he passed the 8th floor. If he passed, then so be it. What is he writing? Unlike the old days, when his movements matched Shunji's, and his heroic spirit was comparable to 100 kings. Su Jin was the most talented, and he was the most outstanding man of today. What kind of nonsense is this? Before the people from the Lung Yu branch family could exclaim that Lin Shun had passed the 8th floor, they were attracted by the content he left on the wall. After he finished writing, he left, concealing his achievements and fame. The entrance to the 1st floor of the Thousand Moon Tower. Lin Shun, are you all right? Lung Yueqi quickly ran over and quickly sized up Lin Shun from head to toe. Teacher Yueqi, what are you afraid of? I met a beauty. Is there a beauty in this world that I, Lin Shun, can't handle? Lin Shun patted his chest and said with a grin. Lung Yueqi smiled slightly and pinched his waist with her jade-like hand. Then, she turned him 360 degrees, causing him to cry out in pain. You can still feel pain? Looks like you're all right. Lung Yueqi smiled sweetly. It was as if she had returned to being the icy beauty who disciplined her students. By the way, Teacher Yueqi, this is for you. Lin Shun endured the pain as he sucked in a breath of cold air and handed her a jade box that sealed the spiritual inheritance. Lung Yueqi quickly let go and rolled her eyes at him. Her delicate jade-like hand rubbed his waist, making him feel indescribably comfortable. Then, Lung Yueqi curiously took the jade box and recalled the spiritual light that Lin Shun had obtained on the 8th floor. Teacher Yueqi, keep it well. This is the inheritance left behind by your ancestors. It should be helpful to you. Seeing that Lung Yin had begun to walk over, Lin Shun secretly transmitted his voice. Lung Yueqi quickly put it away and nodded. Ha ha! Lin Shun is indeed not an ordinary person. He broke through the 8th floor of our Lung Yu branch family's Thousand Moon Pagoda alone. Unparalleled, unparalleled. He even defeated the evil martial artists on Black Fog Island alone. Heroes come from young. At this time, a group of elders arrived. They were all the elders who had been in the secret room just now. Lin Shun sighed in his heart when he saw the enthusiasm on their faces. Damn it, I really have to rely on my strength wherever I go. When I first came to the Lung Yu branch family, none of them even looked at me. I'm just SOSO. I'm a low-key person. Other than being handsome, I really don't have any merits worth mentioning. Lin Shun waved his hand humbly. He seemed neither servile nor overbearing, but in fact, there was a coldness that pushed people thousands of miles away, making the elders' mouths twitch. Chapter 232. Yueqi, Elder Lan will personally bring you to the genealogy to engrave the names of your parents. I hope you won't take what the family has done to you to heart. The red-clothed elder in the group of elders stood out and said to Lung Yueqi with a sincere smile. Yes, Yueqi understands. Lung Yueqi nodded slightly, neither happy nor worried. She knew that the reason why the elders treated her so well was mostly because of Lin Shun. Elder, let's go now. I also want to pay my respects to my deceased future father-in-law and mother-in-law. Lin Shun smiled casually. The elders revealed a slightly surprised expression. Then, the red-clothed elder nodded with a smile. All right, let's set off now. The red-clothed elder waved his hand. The space distorted and everyone floated up. Under the envious gazes of the Lung Yu branch family members, they left. Lung Yu branch family in a certain cemetery. 2 newly constructed tombstones were spread out in a half-moon shape. The names of the deceased were engraved on them. With incense offerings, Lin Shun and Lung Yueqi put their palms together and prayed sincerely. Don't be fooled by this kid's politeness towards us on the surface. In fact, he's very wary of us. Don't push them too hard. If we offend him, it won't be good for our branch family. Sigh, it's a pity that the inheritance. What are you afraid of? Only the descendants of the Lung Yu family can accept the inheritance. This Lin Shun brat can't get it. Since he is Lung Yueqi's partner, it will be given to Lung Yueqi sooner or later. She's also a member of our Lung family. As long as we don't offend her, are you afraid that she will run away? Yes, I will give the order tomorrow to transfer Lung Yueqi's authority to half an elder to her. No one in the branch family can offend her. 7 or 8 elders secretly communicated. Only Lung Yin went to burn 3 incense sticks on the tombstones of Lung Yueqi's parents. Yuechi, all these years, it's great-grandfather's fault. Lung Yin sighed and apologized. Great-grandpa, you don't have to blame yourself. As an elder, there are many things to be busy with. Moreover, I don't have anything against great-grandpa. It's fine as usual. Lung Yuechi nodded calmly. Although she didn't have a good impression of this great-grandfather of hers, she didn't hate him either. In the past, other than his pride, he had never hit her when she was down. It could be said that their kinship hadn't ended yet. Elders, thank you. At this time, Lin Shun, who had finished paying his respects, still cupped his hands in a manner that was neither servile nor overbearing, and smiled casually. The elders could naturally tell that this was what they deserved. Their council of elders had yet to truly express their stance. How could these old and shrewd fellows not hear the calmness in Lin Chen's tone? He took out an item from his bosom and immediately said solemnly, Yu Qi, this is our Elder Council's Cold Moon token. With this token, you can use half of the authority that ordinary elders can use. In view of your outstanding performance in breaking into the Thousand Moon Tower this time, our Elder Council will give this token to you. Lin Shun immediately took the token for Lung Yuechi and revealed a harmless smile as he patted the red-clothed elder's shoulder. Elder, you're really sensible. When I first saw you, I felt that you were very honest. When you were young, you must have been very handsome. You must have had a 10,000th of my looks. I thought that we would hit it off very well. Seeing Lin Chen's 180-degree change in attitude, the elders' mouths twitched wildly. Damn, this brat's face changes faster than flipping a book. Yu Qi, your talent is outstanding, but your movement technique is still a bit lacking. Elder, I have a top-grade blue rank movement technique, glazed eye shadow technique. It's at the peak of the blue rank and is especially suitable for women to cultivate. You must cultivate it well when you go back. The other elder immediately expressed his stance. Lin Sun smiled like a rose flower and accepted it with a smile. Elder, I can see that you're full of vigor and your forehead is bright red. You must have many children and grandchildren. After this, you and I will become sworn brothers. I, Lin Shun, will benefit from it. All the elders found treasures one after another. Lin Sun's face immediately lit up with joy. He was all smiles as he boasted about his treasures. His shamelessness made the elders sweat in their hearts. What kind of place could give birth to such a prodigy? Late at night, Lung Yuechi's residence. Lin Shun was stationed outside Lung Yuechi's room. In order to prevent any accidents, Lin Shun asked her to immediately absorb the spiritual inheritance in a jade box. Lin Shun, who was bored, picked up the scattered attribute light balls near Lung Yuechi's residence. After cultivating the frozen sky finger, he was in need of technique essence. Host has received 70,000 cultivation method soul essences, 50,000 cultivation method soul essences. Lin Shun went from Lung Yuechi's room to Lung Yuechi's technique pavilion in the neighboring mountain range. In order to avoid any unexpected situations, Lin Shun released the ancient azure dragon and let it stay around Lung Yuechi. Its body shrank to a few dozen feet, protecting Lung Yuechi's secret room. Lin Shun himself wouldn't go too far away. He basically maintained a distance where he could immediately return in 2 breaths. Lung Yuechi's seclusion lasted for 7 days and 7 nights. Lin Chen's ancient azure dragon also guarded her for 7 days and 7 nights. On the other side, Lin Chen's strange behavior caused a lot of discussion in Lung Yuechi's residence. He broke into the technique pavilion without permission and didn't want anything. He just randomly touched there. No one could understand what he was doing. For Lin Shun, the technique pavilion was the place where he lost most of his technique essence. In these 7 days, he had already picked up nearly 3 million technique essence. On the 8th day, the red-clothed elder stood in the air and looked at Lin Shun from afar. We still can't see through this ghost's actions. He went around our Lung Yuechi's technique pavilion. It's not like he's setting up a formation. I don't know what he's doing there. There are many things we can't see through on this little guy. Speaking of which, Lung Yuechi's main family should send someone over. It's probably in the next few days. After reaching the 6th floor, the main family will be alarmed. This kid reached the 8th floor, so the main family should also pay attention to him. Late at night on the 8th day, in Lung Yuechi's room, a ray of battle chi shot into the sky and surrounded the sky. The eyes of Lin Shun, who had just finished picking up the last batch of attribute light balls nearby, lit up. He spread out his purple phoenix wings, stepped on a green whirlwind, and quickly flew back. Under the bright moonlight, Lung Yuechi looked like she was wearing the moon and the stars. Her eyebrows were like snow, her face was beautiful, her figure was graceful, and her eyes were shining with autumn waves. In her quiet and indifferent temperament, there was a bit of untainted coldness. If the previous Lung Yuechi was an iceberg beauty, then now she was an iceberg fairy. The indifference between her eyebrows seemed to be refined and moving. Lin Shun, who had just flown over, was stunned by this scene, but immediately said with surprise, "Teacher Yuechi, you broke through to the Heavenly Dipper Realm 3rd layer?" Chapter 233. When Lung Yuechi saw that the person who came was Lin Shun, she smiled sweetly like a melting iceberg and blooming flowers. "And I should be in the late stage of Heaven Dipper Realm. I didn't expect to break through so quickly. The spiritual inheritance contained many secrets of my Lung clan's cultivation techniques. I benefited a lot from it, but I still have a long way to go." Lin Shun nodded. He could feel the shocking transformation in Lung Yuechi's body. If he didn't have the characteristic rune and the ancient azure dragon, the chances of him defeating her would be very small. "All right, I wanted to give you something before." Lung Yuechi handed Lin Shun a jade slip with a pill recipe, which stunned him. "Aren't you an alchemist?" "This is a pill recipe that I obtained by chance. I have already taken this energy medicinal liquid. A martial artist can only take it once in their life. It should be quite effective and helpful for you." Lin Shun hurriedly used his spiritual power to read the contents of the jade slip. Rank 5 mid-grade pill recipe. 5 colors mysterious spirit liquid. It can help those below Heaven Dipper Realm break through, but it can only be taken once. Excluding Heaven Dipper Realm, the medicinal effect is mild. Require materials: 10,000-year green wood heart. Lin Shun's eyes lit up. The 5 colors mysterious spirit liquid in this pill recipe was even more valuable than some rank 5 high-grade pills. At this moment, the situation suddenly changed. "Lung Yu clan's elder, Yin, has arrived." This voice caused the expressions of the Lung Yu clan's branch family members to change drastically. An elder from the Lung Yu clan's elder had arrived. This was a big matter. "Oh, these 2 young people are the ones who passed the Thousand Moon Tower?" Without any warning, the figure of an old man appeared behind Lin Shun, causing the ancient azure dragon to let out a low roar. The elder had a sage-like demeanor and a faint smile on his face. He didn't seem to be looking for trouble. Lin Shun just frowned and stood in front of Lung Yuechi. "Yes, Elder Yin, it's them." The red-clothed elder appeared with 5 other elders from the branch family and said respectfully, "You're all very good seedlings. You're also a student of Heavenly Song Academy? How rare. Your name is Lin Shun. Do you want to follow me back to the Cold Moon clan to cultivate?" Elder Yin smiled calmly and kindly. "What if I refuse?" Lin Shun narrowed his eyes and smiled casually. "Lin Shun, don't worry. My Lung Yu family has a good relationship with the geniuses of the outside world. If you don't want to go, I won't force you. However, since you can enter the Thousand Moon Pagoda, you could be considered half a member of my Lung Yu family." Elder Yin did not use his status and strength to suppress Lin Shun as he spoke in a calm tone. "Our Lung Yu family plans to accept you with preferential treatment. As long as you are able to accept some requests and invitations from our Lung Yu family during crucial moments, it will be fine." Elder Yan's tone was sincere. He had lived for so many years and was very clear about the pros and cons. To be able to cultivate such a peerless genius like Lin Shun, how could he not have a frightening power behind him? Just on the surface, Heavenly Song Academy was on equal footing with the Lung Yu family. Offending such a genius would only bring them harm. What they needed to do was to keep him. With a flip of his palm, a piece of bright jade in the shape of a half-moon floated in front of Lin Shun. Seeing this half-moon jade, the red-clothed elder and the several branch family elders immediately sucked in a breath of cold air. They never imagined that the Lung Yu family would actually spend so much to rope in Lin Shun. At the same time, this also proved that the Lung Yu family was in a precarious situation. They urgently needed some young, top geniuses to pave the way for their plan in a few years. This is the Lung Yu Heavenly Token. Little friend, with this token, as long as you are within the territory of my Lung Yu family, you can exercise the same authority as this old man. Whether it is the territory or the people, you can order and prohibit them. You can even seal the country and control the lives of billions of people. You can act first and report later. Little friend, you only need to say a word. There is no need to ask the Lung Yu family. Even Lin Shun was taken aback by these simple words. With the Lung Yu Heavenly Token, wouldn't I only need to go to the territory of the Lung Yu family to look for a few little sisters? Oh, no. To look for any cultivation resources without paying? This was simply a treasure that was countless times more precious than the throne of a dynasty. Within the territory of the Lung Yu family, if there weren't 1,000, there were at least 800. Added together, it was equivalent to more than half of the desolate region. I can feel the sincerity of the Lung Yu family. I wonder what price I have to pay. Lin Shun casually smiled. He didn't believe that there was a free lunch in this world. As for the specific situation, this old man cannot reveal it to little friend. But, little friend, you can rest assured that this is not a matter of betrayal or a matter of threatening little friend's life. It's just that at certain special times, little friend will be summoned to the Lung Yu family to provide some special assistance. Elder Yin said apologetically. An elder of an ancient family, a super existence above the Heaven Dipper realm, with unfathomable strength, could lower his attitude to talk to Lin Shun. It could be seen that he was very sincere. If that's the case, then I'll believe Elder this time. Suddenly, Lin Shun smiled, took the half-moon jade, and stored it in the spirit receiving ring. By the way, you're Lung Yuechi, right? Your potential is very good. It's a pity to leave it in the branch family. Why don't you come back to the main family with me to cultivate? Elder Yin turned to look at Lung Yuechi and said seriously. After receiving the spiritual inheritance, Lung Yuechi's potential had become comparable to some of the top geniuses of the main family. In Elder Yan's opinion, she might have the chance to become the next saint's son and saintess candidate. Lin Shun frowned, but Lung Yuechi secretly transmitted a message to him. Lin Shun, you don't have to worry. In the spiritual inheritance I received, there are many mysteries that can only be solved by going to the main family. You don't have to worry about me. After saying that, Lung Yuechi nodded to Elder Yan. Elder Yan's expression immediately brightened as he stroked his beard and smiled. Haha, great. This trip to the branch family can actually harvest 2 peerless geniuses. This old man's trip this time is very worthwhile. Yuechi, pack up. We'll set off tomorrow. Haha. Elder Yin, this way please. Our branch family hasn't had the chance to properly entertain you yet. After the elders left, behind the boudoir, on the top of Snow Mountain, under the bright moonlight, only Lin Shun and Lung Yuechi were here. Lin Shun. Lung Yuechi stared at him. Lin Shun thought that she still had something to give him. Unexpectedly, Lung Yuechi took out a silk scarf and covered his eyes. Don't open your eyes. Wait for me to say yes before you open them. This time, it was rare for Lin Shun to be obedient. He really didn't open his eyes. He didn't even use his purple golden pupils. He just waited foolishly in place. A wisp of cold air quietly rose, and the beauty's elegant and clear voice sounded. Okay, open your eyes. The moment Lin Shun untied the scarf and opened his eyes, he was stunned. Chapter 234. Above the cliff of the snowy mountain, the bright moonlight shone down. In addition to Lin Fan's stunned face, there was also a peerless beauty. The beauty stood in front of Lin Shun. She wore a white silk veil on her head and a white silk scarf in front of her collar. Her shoulders were flat and slightly exposed, revealing her creamy skin. Her lips were like cherry blossoms, her eyebrows were like the spring mountains in March, and her cold and elegant cheeks were slightly red. She smiled sweetly as she gazed at Lin Shun. That snow-white dress was as thin as a veil, and the pure and flawless snow dress extended to the ground. Occasionally, it would be blown up by the breeze. The moonlight sprinkled on her snow-white wedding dress. She was like Chang, Yi from the Moon Palace, or Snow Fairy from the Ninth Heaven, descending to the mortal world. She was so beautiful that it was suffocating. Lin Shun was stunned on the spot. He wanted to say something, but stopped. Teacher, This was probably the first time that Lin Fan was so nervous to pick up a girl in the Black Horse Club. He was so excited that he couldn't say anything. He didn't expect that Lung Yuechi would bring back the snow-white wedding dress he made in the Evil King's secret realm. Moreover, it was perfectly preserved. It wasn't damaged at all. What are you, dummy? The beautiful Lung Yuechi covered her mouth and chuckled. Her green eyes flashed with infinite gentleness. Can I let you take maternity leave? Lin Shun was anxious. The words that came out of his mouth made him want to give himself 2 slaps. The beauty giggled. Her curved eyebrows were indescribably charming and beautiful. If there was a fairy in the heavens, perhaps it would be like this. Teacher, before Lin Shun could finish his words, the beauty's beautiful lips pressed on his lips, blocking his words. Are you still calling me teacher? I promised you that I would continue the things that happened after we went underground. Their lips parted, and the red clouds dyed it red. It was both tender and charming. The beauty raised her face and stared at his face. Yuechi! Lin Shun hugged its soft waist. The moonlight reflected the passion between the man and woman. The next day, Lin Shun watched Lung Yuechi leave. After heading to Lung Yu's home, she would definitely have a fortuitous encounter. Perhaps she might even be able to leave him in the dust in terms of cultivation and strength. Before Lin Shun left, he fiercely plundered Lung Yu's branch family, and he didn't let go of any high-grade treasures of heaven and earth, medicinal herbs, and rare ores. Some elders even suspected that this brat was here to rob them. However, there was nothing he could do about it. After all, the elders of the main family had given him a heaven token. Even if he emptied the warehouse, they wouldn't dare to stop him. Lin Shun officially set out to return to Heavenly Song Academy. After leaving the outside world, Lin Shun released the ancient Azure Dragon and flew back to the Heavenly Song Academy at full speed. Lin Shun sat cross-legged on top of the dragon's head. He opened the system and listed a large number of his attributes. Heavenly Tao Possession System version 3.0 host. Lin Shun Cultivation Base. Heavenly Dipper Realm 2nd layer late stage. Maximum Strength 45 Dragon Power. Vitality 3. 965 billion points. Battle Chi Essence 2. 75 billion points. Spiritual Power 1.06 million points. Cultivation Technique Soul Essence 3. 2 million points. Mental Cultivation Technique 9 Calamities of Creation 33%. Cultivation Technique Taishur Holy Scripture 53%. Divine Wilderness 9 Arts 100%. Special Treasures or Cultivation Techniques True Flame Purple Phoenix Wings 100%. Azura 9 Brilliance Transformation Incomplete. 3 Clear Spiritual Water Seal. Bloodline Energy Maximum of 3 types Azure Dragon Bloodline 21,000 points. Purple Golden Pupils Bloodline 10,000 points. Characteristic Rune Slow Rune Level 3. Corrosion Rune Level 2 can be upgraded. Charging Rune Level 3. Rune Energy 0 points. Various Elemental Energy Fire 14. 0.9 million points. Earth 10 million points with 10. For million points, Metal 11. 81 million points, Water 31. 0.1 million points. Lightning 10 million points, Wind 10. 0.5 million points, Light 9. 21 million points, Dark 11. 91 million points. System, I want to cultivate Azura 9 Brilliance Transformation. System received. Consumed 3. 1 million cultivation technique soul essence. Transferring the cultivation memories of Azura 9 Brilliance Transformation for the host. Lin Shun entered the state of union of heaven and man and went into seclusion. The ancient Azure Dragon's might was vast and mighty, and no one dared to provoke it. In less than an hour, Lin Shun opened his eyes and shook his head in amazement. Amazing! Even if it's just an incomplete version, it can still allow me to undergo multiple transformations. I can ignite 3 types of battle chi one after the other, or explode all 3 at once, increasing my strength by several levels. It's a pity that the after effects are also very serious. After using it, even I will have to lie in bed for several days. Lin Chin's trump card was the Azura 9 Brilliance Transformation. Let's first refine a batch of 5-colored mysterious spirit liquid. If I can refine a few more portions for everyone in Class 66, their cultivation will be smoother. Lin Shun sat on the dragon's head and released the Abyss Furnace, immediately activating the Alchemy Hand Seal. His endless fantasy seemed to have a mind of its own as it jumped out of the spirit storage ring and floated in the air, as if responding to Lin Chin's spiritual energy to protect him. This treasure is amazing. It has allowed me to avoid several difficult situations. Lin Chan sighed in admiration and used the 8 Desolation Mystic Flame Hand Seal. He threw a large amount of herbs he obtained from the Lung Yu branch family into the Abyss Furnace, quickly refining the 5-colored mysterious spirit liquid. 5 days later, in the Heavenly Song Institute, in the freshmen's dormitory area, a group of freshmen released their battle chi and watched the show unfolding in the Wasteland Branch's dormitory area. This is clearly a right that freshmen, like us, should enjoy. What right do you have to take it away from us? This is the Wasteland Branch's dormitory area. What right do you have to come here and take our garden for yourselves? 2 beautiful women, who could cause the downfall of a country, coldly scolded a few green merit level seniors who had barged into the dormitory area. Hee, what right do you have? Because you stole Senior Yan's mission. Miss Yan is Senior Lu's woman. Who do you think you are? And you Lin, you even dare to offend Senior Lu? Our Senior Lu is a blue merit level senior for many years. Even elders have to give him some face. Trash like you still don't want face when we give it to you. Our Senior Lu has taken a liking to you. That's your honor. 4 green merit level seniors occupied a few mu of the herb garden in the dormitory area. They looked at Lu Lin, and Yu Lin with a mocking expression. Many of the freshmen who were watching the show sighed in their hearts. How did these 2 beautiful freshmen offend a blue merit level senior? Weren't they just looking for trouble? No wonder the seniors here are so talented, but they've been green merit level seniors for so many years. So it's because they're used to being lackeys. Yu Lin's smiling face revealed some coldness and disdain. Hee, even if you want to be a lackey, you have to see who you're doing it for. Since Junior Sister doesn't want face when we give you face, then we can only invite you over. After saying that, 2 of the green merit level seniors actually attacked on the spot. The 2 girls' expressions changed slightly. The freshmen's dormitory area clearly stated that fighting was not allowed, but they were so fearless. It could be seen how much power the blue merit level seniors had in the institute. Invite, who do you think you are? It's more appropriate to ask the dog owners behind you to come over and apologize. How dare you touch someone from the Wasteland Branch? A thunderous roar of anger surrounded the freshmen's dormitory area. The 2 girls were delighted. Chapter 235. Big Brother Lin Chun. Class Monitor Lin Chun. The 2 girls were delighted. The 4 Lu Sun seniors looked around in bewilderment. Their eyes were filled with fear and alarm. Lin Chin's name was not inferior to any of the Blue Merit seniors in the Heavenly Song Institute. In fact, he was even better than them. Roar. An earth-shattering dragon roar reverberated throughout the freshman dormitory. The majestic dragon aura scared the freshmen so much that they almost knelt on the ground. A huge, ancient azure dragon coiled above the heads of the 4 Green Merit seniors, and a silver-robed figure jumped down. Mother asterisk her, how long has it been since I left the Institute? Which bastard dares to bully the people of the Wasteland region? Lynch rolled up his sleeves and slapped them. Dragon power whizzed out of his 5 fingers and slapped the 4 Green Merit rank seniors to the ground. Lin Shun, we are Lua. Lu your head. Lin Shun stepped on his shoulder and broke it on the spot. This time, he would have to lie in bed for at least a few months. The other 3 Green Merit rank seniors immediately kept quiet out of fear, revealing an indescribable fear. The surrounding freshmen swallowed their saliva. Is this kid really a freshman? 4 Heavenly Dipper Realm Level 1 Green Merit level seniors in front of him were actually defeated by him in one move. Great. Let's see if you guys still dare to find trouble with us. Yulin wanted to see the world in chaos. Her face was red as she waved her little fist. Class monitor Lin Shun. Will this? Lu Lin asked worriedly. Lin Shun raised his hand and smiled at them. His tone was soft and biased. Leave this to me. I won't let you guys suffer any grievances. The 2 girls' faces were slightly red. Yulin was fine, but Lu Lin hurriedly lowered her head. Her delicate ears were red. Where are the elders of the dormitory? Get out here. Mother asterisk her. Look at these bastards bullying us freshmen. If they don't come out in 10 breaths, I will cripple these 4 bastards. Lin Shun suddenly shouted, his voice spreading throughout the entire freshman dormitory area. His brazen behavior of cursing an elder made the scalps of countless new students go numb. They didn't even dare to think about it. Hey, little brother Lin Shun, don't be anxious. I'm coming. A thin and weak elder appeared with a smiling face. Heavenly Dipper Realm 5th Layer Cultivation Base is the elder on duty in this freshman dormitory area. Elder, they bullied the freshmen of the Wasteland just now. Are you blind? Lin Shin's expression was abnormally gloomy as he questioned the elder. If he had not arrived just now, Lu Lin and Yulin Lin would have been forcefully taken away by these 4 fellows on the spot. At that time, no one could guarantee what would happen to the 2 of them, or what would happen to them. The elder's forehead was drenched in cold sweat. He also didn't want to offend that blue merit rank senior. In this main court, where purple merit rank seniors had not appeared for thousands of years, blue merit rank seniors were the treasures of Heavenly Song Academy. I know that elder is in a difficult position. Seeing that you're an elder today, Big Brother Chun, I won't make an example out of you. Lin Chun smiled devilishly and domineeringly, causing all the new students to feel their hair stand on end. Oh my God, what do you mean, seeing that you're an elder? In the past, which batch of new students dared to threaten an elder the moment they enter the main court? This Lin Chun is probably not the first. Now, I won't make things difficult for you, elder. However, I'll have to trouble you to repeat what you did just now. It's just that selective blindness of yours. Lin Chun revealed a harmless smile, then lifted his leg and directly stomped down on another green merit rank senior. Crack! The bone broke. That senior's arm bone was broken by Lin Chen's stomp. No, don't. The other senior flew into the sky in fright, wanting to escape. Roar! The 10,000 feet long azure dragon in the sky roared angrily, and the dragon's might knocked him out on the spot, causing him to foam at the mouth. That elder's face was ashen. Lin Chen's actions were already equivalent to looking down on his authority as an elder. Even those blue merit rank seniors and students didn't dare to be so brazen. He still had put on an act even when he saw him, but this Lin Chun directly slapped his face in front of him. Enough. Freshman Lin Chun is indeed domineering. I'm just afraid that he's a little too domineering and might die prematurely. At this moment, an intimidating cold voice reverberated in the air. A youth with a purple glow flowing all over his body stood in the air, hugging a charming and beautiful lady as soft as a cat in his arms. In front of the purple-clothed man's chest, there was a shining blue medal. A blue merit rank senior. Oh, after beating up 2 rabid dogs, the owner of the dogs came out so quickly. Lin Chun grinned as he looked at the young man. He lifted his leg again, and there was a crack. Another green merit rank senior's arm was broken. You what? Mother asterisk her. If you're not convinced, then use your fist to talk. Fuck your grandpa. Lin Chun pointed at the sky and cursed on the spot. Even Lin was surprised by his boldness and domineering attitude. What's wrong with big brother Lin Chun? Why is his temper even more irritable than before? How can he not be irritable? When Lin Chun returned to the Sky Song Academy, he remembered that he was tricked by Elder Yuan to accept the Black Fog Island mission and was furious. He, who was already angry, now met with a few rabid dogs bullying the people of the desolate region's Class 66. His anger was like a barrel of gunpowder that could be ignited at the slightest touch. Looks like you think that you can do whatever you want just because you have a peak mid-stage 5th Order Ancient Azure Dragon. That Senior Lu was so angry that he laughed and glanced at Lin Chen's Ancient Azure Dragon with disdain. He was at the peak of the 5th level of the Heaven Dipper realm. He didn't even put Lin Chun and a peak mid-stage 5th Order Ancient Azure Dragon in his eyes. Every blue merit rank student had their own trump cards and methods. Ordinary prodigies couldn't compare to them. Enough. What are you all arguing about? At this moment, the old man's impatient voice echoed in the freshmen's dormitory. 5 elders stepped on the air and arrived. The sloppy old man in the lead was actually the highly respected Elder Yuan. Lu Ji, are you trying to break the rules? Old Yuan glanced at Senior Lu and said in an indifferent tone, even this old fellow came. Looks like I can't teach this kid a lesson today. Lu Ji narrowed his eyes and waved his hand, bringing away the 4 green merit rank seniors who were knocked out by Lin Chun. Lin Chun, you won't be arrogant for long. If you have the ability, let's meet in the arena 7 days later. Lu Ji rose with the wind and left with a flick of his sleeves. When he left, he couldn't help but sneer. Who knew that this time, Lin Chen's attention wasn't on Lu Ji. At this moment, Lin Chen laughed. He laughed like a child. His smile was extremely brilliant, like a youth who was more popular than February flowers who saw the class teacher he wanted to beat up. Everyone was dumbstruck. What's up with this kid? Did he eat me shit? Why is he laughing so happily? Only Lin and Lu Lin, or who understood Lin Chun, felt a chill when they saw his smile. They subconsciously took a few steps back. Chapter 236. Lin Chun walked forward with a smile on his face as he chuckled at old Yuan. Elder Yuan, you're finally here. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Thank you so much. Elder Yuan's face lit up, and he immediately smiled. I've been waiting for you for a long time, too. Little Chinzi, why are you taking out your gun? F***CK. Ancient Azure Dragon. F***King hit him. Damn it, I thank you. I thank your whole family. You almost killed me. Roar. Have a taste of my enhanced respect for the elderly fist first. Lin Chun and the Ancient Azure Dragon chased after Elder Yuan and beat him up in front of everyone. Everyone, including the elders who came with him, were dumbfounded. That legendary Elder Yuan, whom even the higher-ups of the Elders Guild feared, was actually being chased and beaten up by freshmen. Anyone who encountered something as F***ket as Lin Chun would be furious. If he hadn't hidden a true dragon soul-refining pill during the mission to Black Fog Island and survived the effects of the true dragon soul-refining pill, he would have either burst from the pill or been captured alive by the evil sect martial artists and suffered a fate worse than death. Don't, Brother Chun. Let's talk nicely. There's no need to take out your gun, right? Brother Chun, don't hit him. Calm down. After the elders came to their senses, they stopped Lin Chun on the spot and hurriedly comforted him. Elder Yuan had once sincerely helped him, and Lin Chun couldn't be any clearer about that. He wouldn't kill such an old senior, but it was really not in line with his character if he didn't lose his temper and grumble. He had suffered a great loss this time. The elder stationed at the freshman dormitory area broke out in cold sweat. This kid was really a tough nut to crack. Even Elder Yuan almost got shot by him just now. This was no joke. I'll really take a detour when I see this kid in the future. The elder thought to himself. Lin Shun, kid, didn't you come back alive? At most, I'll compensate you with some points, and we can treat it as if nothing happened. Old Monster Yuan smiled embarrassedly. Even if he had guided Lin Shun to accept the Black Fog Island mission out of goodwill, it was also a fact that he had almost killed Lin Shun this time. Then 10 million points it is. Then take out your gun. 1 million then. 800,000. Deal. The higher-ups of the academy want to test if I can be promoted to a Blue Merit student. When Lin Shun heard the news brought by Old Yuan and the other elders, he was somewhat astonished. In order to promote a Blue Merit rank student, one would have to accumulate a total of 10 million points and above in the academy. Furthermore, the transactions and other gains made by the students would not be included in the 10 million points. What I need to do? Lin Shun shrugged. Since the opportunity had come, he wasn't willing to miss it. You don't need to do anything, Old Yuan said with a mysterious smile. You only need to maintain your daily behavior in the academy. From the moment you entered the academy, the higher-ups of the academy have already been observing you. They will conduct a comprehensive evaluation of your character, strength, intelligence, and temperament over a period of 5 days. As long as you meet the standards in their hearts, they will make an exception and promote you to a Blue Merit student. Lin Shun suddenly understood. Relationships were just eating, drinking, sleeping, and flirting with girls. Just let them judge him. All right, elders, if I want to sell pills, where can I go to get the highest price? At this time, Lin Shun asked the elder beside Elder Yuan. The academy had the treasure pavilion, the elixir hall, the elixir hall, the elixir hall, the auction house, and the secret treasure pavilion. Many branches supported the purchase of pills. Lin Shun wanted to sell something, but he couldn't find a good place to do so. If you want to sell something for a relatively good price in a short period of time, you must choose the auction house. Moreover, there will be a large-scale auction in 2 days. The two elders muttered. Lin Shun's eyes lit up, and he immediately whispered to the two elders. What? You want to sell high-quality pill recipes and then cooperate by sharing the profits? In the future, you can enjoy a share of the profits for every pill recipe you sell? This magical idea made one of the elders exclaim. Lin Shun did not try to hide the truth as he nodded. Yes, when the time comes, the points from the long-term share will belong to our Class 66. Lin Shun's words warmed the hearts of the two girls behind him. So Lin Shun was doing all of this for the sake of everyone in Class 66. If that's the case, I can recommend you to the Elixir Hall. You should be able to enjoy a share of the profits. One of the elders said. Lin Shun was a heaven-defying freshman with a chance to become a Blue Merit student. Being on good terms with him now was beneficial. Okay, then the day before the auction starts, I will give you the pill recipes that need to be sold for a long period of time. Late at night, in the new student dormitory area, Lin Shun, Lu Lin Air, and Yu Lin Lin were together. In other words, it was Lin Air who first accepted the 250,000-point mission, and then that senior sister, Yin, started to make things difficult for you guys. Lin Shun frowned after understanding the recent encounter of the two girls. The cause of the matter was very simple. Lu Lin Air took away the mission that senior sister, Yin, thought was hers. Then senior sister, Yin, started to make things difficult for Lu Lin Air. She didn't think that a yellow merit student like Lu Lin Air could complete the 250,000-point mission and sent seniors to disturb Lu Lin Air. However, that was to collect materials and assist the elders in refining a few types of poisons. This was completely within the scope of Lu Lin Er's ability, since she was extremely talented in the art of poison control. Finally, when Lu Lin Air completed the mission, senior sister Yin was completely anxious. The seniors under Lu Ji came over and tried to forcefully kidnap the two girls. You dare to bully our class 66? Don't worry, I will help you get justice for this matter. Lin Shun smiled. Lu Lin Air hurriedly waved her hand. Class monitor Lin Chun, there's no need. The other party is a blue merit student. There's no need to completely offend them. Lin Air, what are you afraid of? Big brother Lin Chun will stand up for us. Our class 66 won't bully others, but we can't let others bully us. Yu Lin clenched her little fist and patted Lin Chen's shoulder. She imitated by Juanhao's tone and said in a deep voice, Big brother, don't worry. I will definitely support you. Go beat up those sons of bitches. Lu Lin Air couldn't help but burst into laughter. The next day, Lin Chen wasn't in a hurry to submit the mission. Instead, he settled the matters at hand first. After he went to the auction venue, he went to look for the elder from before. In the elder's office, Elder Chi was carefully studying the pill formulas in his hands. Are you sure you want to sell these 3 pill formulas separately? After briefly reading the 3 pill formulas that Lin Chen handed in, Elder Chi looked at him with some astonishment. These were all grade 5 mid-grade pill formulas that could only be found by chance. Their value was extraordinary. Even in a second-rate sect, they would be considered a sect treasure. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.